What's going on, everybody? Cali Death Podcast back once again, episode 142. I am your host, Anthony Trapani. I'm back in the slums of South City industrial area. Rats crawling through the walls and shit. But I'm here with you guys still. It's another Thursday night, and I am joined by the resident homies. I got Casey Howard and Joseph K, the professor, with me tonight. What up, guys?
Yo.
Hi, Anthony.
We will see the gorilla man himself, Joel Horner, later on. But tonight we are joined by Sanja and Noni from Wormhole. What up, dudes?
Well,
Yo. What up? Yo.
Nice to have you guys on tonight, no doubt. And we will definitely get into you guys soon. Let's do some plugs real quick. BattleforgeCoffee.com is where we get our coffee, and you should get your coffee there too. It's our homies in Deeds of Flesh, and they got swag. They got all this good shit over there. Support the homies.
Coffee. It's super strong. We'll get you launched.
Get you launched, dude. And that's what we're all looking for when we drink our coffee, no doubt. And also, we got CaliDeathPodcast.BigCartel.com. A couple of t-shirts there. We had some live baggings last week. That was pretty rad. Actually, Joseph looked semi-busy all episode. There was a few packages that were done up. But if you're watching this live on Twitch right now, you can put in an order and watch Joseph work.
Yeah. And I'd like to just admit to being a dork. I'm wearing the Cali Death shirt.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up, dude. I still don't own one.
First reveal.
But yeah, that's literally the only way you can give us money at the moment. If you want to give us money, that money will go back into more merch, other cool ideas. But we got, two different designs in there. Support the show if you want to that way. We do it live on Twitch every Thursday. If you don't subscribe on that, please do. And then YouTube Friday is when the video goes up. Subscribe there if you haven't. Also, social media, blah, 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 blah. Generator Rehearsal Studios. Get your jam on down there in SoCal at that spot.
Oceanside, California.
Can I mention that this is probably the first time?
Don't ever ask me. Just fucking do it, dude. I mean, come on. You're the fucking professor, bro.
Don't interrupt him, Joseph.
Well,
no, I'm saying interrupt me and fucking say what you need to say.
Oh, obviously.
Well, I'm just stoked that I see 3 different To Violently Vomit merch items on the screen. There's
no way, really?
On the back there. There's Casey's hat, and then there's on the fucking Chicago Domination Fest 7 flag.
All the
right
there.
So I'm feeling heavily represented right now. There, yeah.
I talked to Diego today on the phone, dude. I was at Trader Joe's and I was like, "What up?" He's like, "What up, man?" And
dude, I have a quick question.
He's hanging with Von Stoffi tonight. And I was like, "What?"
Yeah, dude. Big moves. Yep.
So just since you brought that up, I saw a flyer for the actual Disgorge. Now, how does that work? Is that real? Or was that like an old flyer that Diego put up and I didn't look at the date?
Yeah, that was like a shared memory. That was like 2014 or something.
I was just scrolling by and I was like, wait,
gotcha.
A flyer with the actual Disgorge logo? Like, did I not hear about something?
Nah. I want to pivot from that into, is Disgorge the OG Tech Slam band? Or
I would say yes. I would say at least to my knowledge.
I want to get straight into it with you guys because you guys are Tech Slam. You guys are something different from previous brutal death metal that has tech and slam. But there are previous brutal death metal bands with a lot of tech and slam. So I want to get your guys' views on.
I kind of have a spiel on this actually.
Yeah, let's do it.
I want to say it's rehearsed, but I've done it more than once. Okay, I say this all the time. I say Wormhole invented tech slam, you know. And like, I mean, I'm just saying shit, but all right, there's some truth to it. Okay, it's definitely no secret that you have bands that are technical and slamming. Like the most iconic one, I think, to a lot of people is like Defeated Sanity, right? That's like hard as shit to fucking play on like every instrument. techy and very slammy. And yeah, Disgorge definitely did it before, and there's like other bands have been doing it. I mean, somebody can argue that like Deeds of Flesh borders on tech slam at times.
Mhm.
They have, or Severed Savior even.
What
Okay.
up?
But here's what I'm saying about Wormhole being invented tech slam. I don't know any other band that combines like melodic tech stuff, like big influences like Necrophagist on our shit. I don't hear a lot of that shit mixed with slam. Like
Mhm.
I don't hear people doing like melodic as fuck to heavy as fuck, but like with the same finesse that a band like Disgorge or Defeated Sanity does, transitioning their sections. So
Mm.
our
Hmm.
brand of tech slam is
Okay.
like definitely
I
different than so I that's why I think
connection. Can you Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Genres. Well, by the way, I'm hearing myself in the background of something. Probably the Kumar house.
It might be the speakers. Do you guys have
I
any
lowered my shit a
headphones
little bit.
I'm over. I mean,
It's
and this, I'm not trying to like come at this aggressively, but I'm just so over this conversation. Like in reality, like it's all been done, guys. Like it's all been done. Like nothing can be invented, at least in our genre. I really think that like we've scoured the lands of extreme metal, and we've found. I would love for somebody to come back and be like, I found a new relic or artifact that totally changes the game. But really, it's like we only have like a finite amount of resources that we're pulling from, and however you make the ratios of the things, or you make the recipe of your specific band. One, if it feels unique to you, continue, because that's really the sensation that we're going for, is making something unique. But it really is hard to say, and I'm not just speaking on what you guys are saying right now, and I'm not pointing at fingers directly at you guys, but saying I'm the inventor of something. It's just like it's already been invented. All these things, it's like you're just
Yeah,
taking
like
two invent
yeah.
the metaphor. If I was to go with your metaphor, it would be like I'm taking two inventions and just putting them, two different inventions that haven't really been put together cleanly. And
It's
so
like it's like I invented the blast beat. I mean, everyone knows that.
And actually, it's so funny because like
before.
I hear the blast beat on
I
like
invented the blast beat.
an early Zappa record too, and I'm
No,
like, that's way before the fucking death metal was even
86,
invented.
87.
No, it was like the Mothers, dude. There's a song.
No, I'm talking about Sandoval invented the blast
Oh
beat.
yeah, the traditional.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, so that's what I'm saying, and I know that it's all subjective and all this type of stuff, and I'm not trying to be a contrarian to anything that's being said right now, but that's where I sit when I hear, I don't know, I don't really, where the
I mean, okay, tech, it's okay. The story about the tech slam thing is like, I mean, I'm aware that Wormhole is just brutal death metal, or Wormhole is just tech death from whatever angle you look at it. But branding, baby.
Yeah, dude, no doubt.
So that's the whole point of the Wormhole invented tech slam. It's pure branding.
Oh yeah, we're having the conversation right now, so it already worked.
Yeah. I like to think that you guys did invent tech slam. I'm going with that. I also like to think that there's tech and there's slam in previous bands, and what you did was like distill something that was in brutal death metal, two things in brutal metal, and you purified them and then combined them.
All right.
And so I guess the inventing is maybe nothing more than combining those distilled elements. But then the new thing is that you guys are now inventing like disotech slam, or like every song on the
Okay.
new album is like some other third thing added to those two, which I can say I've listened to the new record, and so I don't know.
Okay. All right, hold on a second.
Let's hear Casey.
So I like this whole conversation. I think we need to go deeper here. I want to kind of take a step back for a second and go, okay, let's just like have a conversation about slam, because like I'm like an old school. I'm the only 40-year-old on the podcast, and for me, like I've heard that term thrown around, but we never used that term to describe Discourage back in 2000, seeing them live, whatever. I don't know, 17, shit like that. Like I was just like, slam wasn't like a word that we used in it, but I understand. I've heard it applied, like, so being the old guy, like for me, I've heard it applied to like East Coast, like, or even like Suffocation or something, bands like that back in the day. It was like, oh yeah, the heart, it was different than hardcore, but the slam kind of shit. And then like, yeah, back in my day. So, but what I want to do is make this an educational experience for all of our listeners who like maybe are like me, or just like, wait, everything's slam all of a sudden. Like, I don't know, like I missed the boat for a second. So I just want to take a step back, and I want you guys to talk. I just want to pull it back and be like, okay, so like Matt Sotelo from Decrepit Birth was on our podcast, recently, and he brought up the idea of like, oh, maybe I want to add more slam elements to like new Decrepit stuff, talking about analepsy. I was like on lunch at work one day, and I kind of put on analepsy. I was like, what's this band? This great name. And then like I put on like one of their newest album, and it to me sounded like it had kind of what you were talking about, like some shredding guitar, then like slam stuff, but not like how you guys are like a different way. But I don't know. I'm so ignorant to this whole thing, but I mean, and then of course there's like the devourment stuff. Is that slam? I don't understand. So just walk us through, like, let's just start from the beginning here, because I'm a little bit confused and I want to understand it all. I want to understand the slam.
I've thought about this a lot in the shower, and
nice.
We're driving a lot of our good thinking.
To me, there are I want to say 4 different like eras in slam. All right. I'm going to take you through all 4 of them. So I think it starts with Liege of Inveracity.
Inveracity.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure.
And so that has the first slam riff in it, right?
Everybody.
And then I think the East Coast bands that you were talking about, like Internal Bleeding and stuff, they kind of took that and ran with it a little bit, but it didn't. I don't think it really became this genre defining thing until Devourment. And I feel like when 138 and Baby Killer's out on there, I feel like that's when someone says like, classic slam, pure slam, it's like that's the model for
that's what we think too. Baby Killer. Baby Killer is literally that song right there is like, that was that I always say that's like the seed.
Yeah, I feel like every slam song since then is, the guitar parts are more or less a reinterpretation of that song.
I mean, obviously it's Liege is the seed, but like the seed's starting to sprout with the Devourment, and then we really start to see what the plant's going to be with Devourment's Baby Killer.
And then I think
the
next one to change the game was Abominable Putridity. And that's I think when you had the lines were blurred a little bit, and I think that's when everybody started to kind of take it and run with it. And then you had like,
so what about Wormed? Because I would say Wormed is pre-Abominable.
I don't know if they have just the like caveman style slam riffs that are like true slam.
Their OG shit was pretty
that first record had some slam
nasty.
shit.
Yeah.
Planetarium.
I always called Wormed like math slam. Like,
oh man, that's so cool.
Or like Dripping.
By the way, I loved Wormed, dude.
Yeah, me too.
Dripping is so sick.
Yeah, dripping
dude.
is
Yeah.
hella sick.
Dude, we used to blast that shit. Fucking
Love that
blow up
album.
my speakers with those 808.
Can't even
knobs.
remember what it's called because it's a whole sentence.
Dripping is so good. It's so funny. That shit.
I've
Yeah,
never
so
heard
that okay, so that's I think that already, and you guys are going to continue, but I just got to get this out of my mind. At those times, there's much more blurred lines between these, separate ways of playing this style of music, and I think that's to go on what I was saying earlier. I think what we're doing now is we're cracking the codes of blending these genres that weren't successfully blended in the past. Now dudes like Wormhole and all these other bands are cracking the code of being able to blend these things. But you guys were in the middle of something, so I'm going to shut up now and you guys keep going.
I think we're talking about origination.
Yeah, so you're on like the second wave of your guys' slam.
I think
You got
it's
4
third.
parts.
That was the third. Yeah.
Last one is Analepsy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, everybody was doing the super punchy thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, those are my 4 slam eras.
So
There's-
I think with Abominable, for sure, you get more like of a marketing kind of thing where like you get the more colorful designs. You get like the hats. I always associate the sort of like uniform of slam with Abominable, and I think there's a bit more of like a swagger there that might have appealed more to people who weren't into like brutal death or old school death, but they're like, oh, I like can bob my head to this. They might be more into like hip hop otherwise or something. That's just like, I'm just speculating.
I think
Mhm.
Abominable to me was like the first successful hi-fi slam album.
And there's the hi-fi element.
There
for
you go.
sure.
Because like,
Yeah.
yo, that okay, I mean the remix is great, but that original mix of Abominable, like from 2012, not from 2015,
Mhm.
that shit was perfect. Like I'd never heard anything like that at the time in like a death metal scenario.
Yeah.
Like that was like gent high like level production, but on brutal death metal.
So
Shit was crazy.
I heard a rumor that the guitars are not played in the way that normal guitars are tracked for records. I don't know if you know anything about how that record was created, but it definitely
I've had
sounds like
hunches that they were like single, like
to me,
note
it
by
sounds
note.
like it's note by note.
it sounds like it's just like kind of plug and chugged, kind of put them in
But-
the grid. Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It's like
It
slam
works.
riff, so it's
Yeah,
like
it
it's not
fucking
like it's not like you can't play it. You know, I mean, I hope. I hope. But yeah, like looking at that, like that, that was probably just like an artistic decision, and I think it really helped
Mm.
make a lot of the stuff that's usually muddy in slam, like
Crisp and
really
discernible.
really cool. Yeah, they had like some pretty techie shit in there.
Yeah, yeah.
So that sounds super clean. But yeah, the original mix from 2012, not from 2015. That OG one, another level.
Isn't
2015.
that funny how the first mix of anything that you come across and love, if most of the time, if somebody tries to remix it, even though certain things might be better about it, you're always going to be like, that fucking other
Yeah.
mix is just because it embeds itself in you,
Yeah, especially when it's such an iconic, like the music's super iconic. That mix is going to be iconic with it.
Right. And like Death's Human, I'd love to hear Steve higher in the mix, but at the same time, I have a nostalgic connection to the original way I heard it,
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's hard to break away from that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that does, I think most remix attempts are like at least underwhelming, if not fully unsuccessful. But then there are a few like gems where you're just like so happy to hear a remix, like Death's Human remix, so that you can hear the bass is the main example.
I thought the Traced and Air remix was good.
the Traced and Air
Oh,
remix
that,
is amazingly better.
On
yeah.
Action remix.
Yeah.
The Onset, I actually don't remember the
I have
difference
not heard
in how
that.
those two sound.
Actually, yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
just
said
feel-
most. That is a good
Yeah.
example of the trace snare.
it
Bringing
can work, but it's hard to pull
Malone
off.
way up. Well, he retracked for that record, actually.
It's mainly the
Oh,
drums
Trace
that just
Snare,
sound
yeah.
so much
Yeah.
better. Yeah,
Yeah, that one's great. Yeah,
it's hard to
I
get
thought-
over the
Yeah.
no death growls on it, but I guess
But
it
they're
works.
few and far between on that album, anyways. But you've heard them in places that you're expecting them, and then they don't come. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't miss him really on it.
Actually, I don't either. Sorry. Shout out to Mon. You're still a rad dude.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of other remixes that are just, or the weird ones were the Morbid Angels remixes, and they say like full dynamic range, and it just sounds exactly the same to me. I don't know what
I've
the
never
hell.
have known what the difference is ever.
Yeah.
Super
I-
funny.
It's like there's like instead of 20K, there's like 20,001K hertz in there instead, or something like
like
some,
It's an improvement, dude.
some fucking
Come on.
ride cymbals. Like
It's kind of cool
slightly-
that it's that similar. You're like, what
Yeah.
am I? What did I? Yeah.
If there was going to be a like record you would want remixed, I would actually argue the Planispherium by Wormed. I love the original sound, but I would like to hear a remix to see if they could control the guitars a little more.
Yeah.
I did like the shitty sound of that,
Mhm.
but yeah, I also wonder.
Of course, they've just nailed it on production ever since then. So you kind of just, now that you know what they could sound like, what they do sound like now, you kind of want to hear that a little bit into the old stuff. But again, like you, I love the trashiness of it. So,
I do. There's something that trashiness is actually to bring it back to what we were talking about. That trashiness to me is the added element to a lot of the slam bands that I like, like
Mhm.
Sect of Execration. That EP is just so filthy and nasty, but everything's still just right there in your face too. And it gives it the character that I think that adds to why I like it in the first place.
I thought of
But
the record.
I'm not being contrarian against what we were just saying. I love a clean production, and what you guys are talking about with the Abominable thing, like that showed that this could be possible for otherwise dirty sounding subgenre of death metal before that.
Mhm.
Now it opens new possibilities, and then you get down the road a decade or so later and you have a Wormhole. It's like, of course that once the bar is set, somebody's going to try and surpass that immediately, and that's the whole point. All right.
Top record to be remixed or probably just re-recorded is Breeding the Spawn for sure.
Yeah, that's the classic.
dude.
That's the classic because like all the recordings are so like on point, and then you're like, oh, interesting. But the music's so sick on it, like
I mean, if you brought it to just effigy level, that's it. We just want the effigy level. You don't even have to get crazy with it. Just bring everything.
I mean, I like how bands like will basically. My opinion is if you're gonna like re-release something, like have it as a separate remix version, so like people can still listen to the old one on the streaming stuff, and like have it relabeled as a new thing. And just like some people might like the new one, they might like the old one, but like I wouldn't like replace the old one, or like like I think it's cool to have like the original recording for whatever, like, and not like delete it and replace it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep both, dude.
Yeah, for us. Yeah, well, the same reason that I just said. Like, there's going to be the people who even just be like, "No, dude, I like the original first because music is a memory, thing. So it's like it's going to bring you back to the new one. Won't bring you to the same place the old one did."
Yeah.
All right. Well, did everybody finish their thoughts on this, or I want to get into these guys specifically. But go for it, Justin.
I just want to pivot a slightly different route than usual, which is you guys just wrapped up a tour with Analepsy Cognitive and Necrotic Gore Beast. And so I think you guys were out for like what 30 some days.
And we didn't
some
even do
shows.
them in the
How-
plug section. Sorry. We didn't even fucking say any fucking Wormhole plugs other than their name, dude. What the fuck are we doing tonight, guys?
Oh
I love you guys.
Well, we're getting there, but yeah. So you've
All
been
right.
on the road. You got a new record. So why don't you guys just talk about the latest tour and then what's coming up with the record?
The tour was great. Okay, here's something interesting about it. That was actually our first true slam tour. Every tour that we've done in the last like post-COVID, I guess, has been like deathcore bands or tech death and slam bands.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first true slam tour, so it was the easiest set we've ever put together because it was mostly the slammier songs.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess what I've learned is playing less notes is definitely more fun.
I would say
That's a great quote right there.
that.
Playing less notes is more fun.
So how many notes are in an Inferi set versus a Wormhole 2023
Literally
set?
like 10 or 15 times more. Like
Yeah,
Notes.
yeah,
that's
a
insane.
lot of shit to memorize.
Well, it was a fucking insane show. I had a lot of fun hanging out and seeing all the bands. Every set was great, but I will stand by. I said this the fucking episode after I went to the show, and I'll stand by it. You guys were my favorite set of the night. You guys
Hell
were the best band
yeah.
on the tour, even though Analepsy, like international and like established legends, all that shit. I mean, I just I'm a sucker for the tech, dude. Like, and I just and I was right in front of you, Sanjay, when you ripped an actual guitar solo. It was probably the only guitar solo of the night, but it was like, okay, this sold me. And then of course Matt right there, Tillett, just like the sickest drummer, dude. I'm a big fan of his and glad to call him a friend now. And so yeah, you guys won me as in terms of
That's sick, man.
Yeah. So
Oh, stoked.
What? I'm sorry. Did you mention that you were familiar with their music before you saw them, Joseph, or was that your first time hearing them? Oh, okay.
So we actually played Chicago Domination 7 together. That was last year.
Nice.
So I caught their set on Friday and then we played on Saturday. And I was very stoked on that set that year as well. And yeah, I would just, singing the gospel of Wormhole since then.
Nice.
And then I got to hear the new record, and it's for sure gonna fucking blow everyone's minds. It's it's so diverse and so many new influences. It's just really, really cool, really fresh. So
yeah, I really enjoyed those two singles that are out so far, coming from the new album. No doubt, I had a good time listening to those. And Casey also had a connection, but I want to get into them specifically. Can we do the OG Cali Death style here now and get into them?
Just plug the name of the record and the label and when it's coming out, and then we can do the usual.
The Wormhole record is called Almost Human. It's coming out on Season of Mist on September 22nd.
Nice. And where can anybody purchase merchandise or anything currently right now?
You can currently find merch on the Season of Mist store. You can find it on the Wormhole Big Cartel. And you'll be able to find the record anywhere you stream music.
Boom.
Sick.
All right. So now I'm very intrigued by the fact that you guys are siblings, and I like we were talking pre-pod. There's quite a bit of people I love as musicians and artists that grew up with a creative sibling, and you guys are working together still today. So I'm really excited to just ask the same question I always do on this show, dude. I want to go back into your histories. Who's the older of the two?
You guys should try and guess that, actually.
All right. I'm going to go with, I mean, my eyes are terrible right now, dude. If you want to be honest, I shouldn't go because I don't have my glasses on. So I'm looking at blurred people right now. I'm going, no offense, but Noni, you're the older brother.
I'm guessing Sanjay. Joseph, who do you guess?
Twins. I don't think so. No, I think probably Noni, to be honest.
Yeah, it's Noni.
Wow. Oh, okay, I got it.
Sorry, dude. I don't want it to be.
How did you know?
I just literally was like, I think I see a little more gray in that beard.
Yeah.
But I
We're
got
only
gray.
11
I got
months
gray
apart.
all over my face, so it's all
11
good,
months apart, you said?
Yeah. So that's why it's hard for people to gauge who's older. A lot.
dude.
Yeah,
We would
close.
call you guys Irish twins.
Yeah. There's 1 month we're the same age. It's crazy.
Yeah, isn't that wild? You
Yeah.
guys, your
yeah.
parents didn't take much of a break, dude. That's for real. I'm thinking about that. Like, woo. That's
Anthony's got
like a
5
month.
kids,
That's
too.
like 6 weeks, maybe, or something like that.
Yes, yeah.
Well, kudos to your mom, dude. Like, applause, dude. She's the real trooper in
quote
that
for
whole
Anthony.
situation. She's
That's
the real,
the Anthony quote. Kudos to your mom.
like, for
Make that
real.
a
Like,
banner
she's
right
the
now.
real
Yeah.
trooper. She's the real warrior in that whole thing, dude.
Oh man.
That's being pregnant basically for 20 months, dude. Or 18 months. All right.
right.
Well, all right. So let's go back to the beginning like we always do, dude. Noni, since you're the oldest one, talk about your first, introduction to creativity, art, music, anything in your life. Was it the parents? Was it, a different family member? Like something that triggered creativity?
All right. My introduction to music was in elementary school. They used to do these things called a musical moment every morning where they would play like 30 seconds of usually classical music.
Mm-hmm.
Over
the loudspeaker for everybody sitting in their class.
It was like the same PA that they use for.
Yeah.
It's
like listening to AM radio or something.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
was like 20 years ago too. So it wasn't.
Yeah.
And then there was one piece that was like violin. So I just decided I liked it. So for whatever reason, like 8-year-old me told my mom, like, I wanted to play violin. And I'm pretty sure that like I had no intention of actually doing it. I think I was just 8 years old and I was saying whatever shit came to mind.
Right.
Like, oh, I heard this. I kind of like the violin.
I want to recreate those noises.
So for my mom, who I guess was always trying to push us to like extracurricular activities, that's like a green light to like go. And then before I knew it, I was doing violin lessons with my friend's dad, who's just so happened to be a very good violinist.
Mm-hmm. How old are you?
I was 8 years old.
Okay.
8 or 9 at that time. And I didn't do anything really creatively with music until like I was in college. But I think I was always like a creative kid. I think Sanjay would probably say the same thing for himself. Like we'd buy Legos, and we'd build the thing, but eventually it'd come apart and we'd try to build our own thing with it.
Okay, dude, you just hit me so close to home because that's my oldest Trevor. Well, we buy him, or he goes and picks out a Lego. He'll put it together almost within an instant, dude. It's just like, boom, it's there. And then all he wants to do is deconstruct it and
make
a new thing, dude.
Yeah.
I think that like building the thing inspires the real thing,
Yeah.
that then you see what's possible in building the thing. And along the way, you may not even realize it, but you're subconsciously like making up new possibilities with this thing that you're creating.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude. That just made like the hair stand up on the back of my neck because that's so my oldest, dude. All right, go ahead, keep going.
I mean, that's it for my introduction to creativity.
So okay, then so you guys weren't really like into music at a younger age?
Or like I started really getting into metal in like 9th grade, 10th grade.
Okay, but not about metal. I said music though. I want to know,
yeah.
like, don't
Music-
be embarrassed about what you, because dude, like my shit was the Beach Boys and fucking all this other shit. So like anything you don't want to mention on a metal show,
my
it don't matter.
first CD I ever owned was an Aaron Carter CD.
Okay, so it was like pop shit, right?
Yeah, and then I think we also had an NSYNC CD and a Backstreet Boys one.
Okay.
You can hear the influence actually.
So Sanjay,
like-
so Sanjay, is it the same kind of thing? You're just watching your older brother.
My whole shit is a little different.
Yeah.
My earliest music memories are like listening to like American Woman and Mambo Number 5 when they came on the TV.
Totally. So like MTV pop culture type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then middle school it became more like hip hop and rap. Like I really like Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, T-Pain.
Yeah.
Soldier Boy.
Yeah, Soldier Boy.
I was he said
I was
outside of his
Soulja Boy's
mouth.
target demographic when he came out.
Hell yeah, dude. So that would be like early 2000s type.
It's like
2006.
Yeah, 2006 to 2008.
Okay. Hell yeah, dude. No, see, that's the thing, dude. I'm totally hip hop before metal, you know. 50s, 60s fucking music that my parents were feeding down to me. At one point they started listening to country and I was like, fuck that shit, I'm out. And then I started digging into the pop stuff, and then eventually you get like to a Slipknot or something like that, you know. And so that's the whole thing, dude. It's like I'm never embarrassed by well, I didn't read the bottom. What did it say? What did it say?
I'll bring it back.
Shout out to Senum.
Hell yeah, dude. So based, what the fuck does that mean, guys? I'm the older guy now. I've been hearing like, oh, dude, based. Fucking what the fuck?
You could give a whole lecture on it, but
I think Spark Notes, it's the opposite of cringe.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
pretty good.
Nice, dude. Well, I hope I'm hoping more based than cringe on these.
We all do, Anthony. It's all of our goals. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing, dude. It's like it doesn't matter what you were into at that young age. It was the point A to the point B where you guys are currently, you know? So I've never been, well, I shouldn't say I've never. In my adulthood, I've learned to not be ashamed by anything that I was, you know, I connected to at a young age, just because it got me exactly where I'm at today, dude. So anybody were to be like, oh, dude, what the fuck? You listen to NSYNC when you're fucking 9? It's like, dude, I'm fucking 39 now. Like, you know?
Yeah. I love the idea of like gatekeeping based on what your musical tastes were as a like 9-year-old though. That's awesome. If anyone is doing that, I think that's still also cool.
Mike Gilbert in the chat. What up, dude? We were just
yeah.
talking earlier. We're gonna start these later so I could be at your house every week. All right. So back into you guys, dude. So Sanjay, you were gonna say that yours was a little different. So let's hear about yours.
I would attribute my interest in music to video games.
Okay.
Big one for me when I was a kid was Mega Man Extreme. I had the Mega Man Extreme 1 and 2 like Game Boy bundle shit thing where it had X1 through 4. Anyways, I would like love the fucking music on that, and I would just like pause the game and like put the Game Boy up to my ear and be like, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay. But the real game that started it off for me, that basically developed my true interest in music, was Need for Speed Underground.
Okay.
That was like the first game I played that had a licensed soundtrack, and the menu theme for that game was Get Low by Lil Jon and the East Side Boys.
Nice.
And I fucking loved that song. So I ended up going to the library to get the CD because that's what I did back then for music. So I got the newest Lil Jon CD. This is like 2005. So Crunk Juice came out, and it was the clean version, but it was like 20 tracks of like just ignorant shit. But like, I don't know, it was like extremely aggressive, and it'd be like me like on my bed with like my little shitty headphones in, like getting like pumped up to fucking
Right.
do math homework or some shit.
Hell yeah.
But
You
yeah,
guys 3-6 Mafia fans?
I love 3-6 Mafia.
Okay.
So
All right. Sorry, Casey
yeah,
and Joseph. We're doing a little 3-6 dive on this episode, and I'm sorry, maybe not right now, but I'm gonna have to dive a little bit with these guys. All right.
That's fine.
That's fine.
that's like exactly the
What's
type
happening?
of hip hop that like started my musical interest. Like
Nice.
Lil Jon, 3-6 Mafia, fucking who else was huge? Young Bloods. I don't know if anybody remembers Young Bloods. Lil Scrappy.
See,
T.I.
your era of 3-6 Mafia is definitely going to be later than mine. You know, like I just said, I'm about a decade older than you. But I will say that that was a very pivotal moment in hip hop for me too, because I was listening to other styles of hip hop, and then there's this aggressive, like almost metal aspect to 3-6 Mafia's music. The breakdowns are like just as important, you know? So it totally makes sense to me that that is in your wheelhouse of like influences, dude.
So I always thought hip hop is just slam. Like they're kind of like interchangeable. Like slam is like the hip hop of brutal death metal. Like I always felt
Yeah.
like those were analogous in that like
I would say the Dirty South style is definitely
I mean like
very
trap hi-hats are the same as death metal double kicks, you know? Like and
there's
then
a lot
like
of triplets and
yeah, and then like recently there's a lot of modulating tempos in hip hop. Like that's I feel like I hear it more and more now. I feel like that has been a staple thing that like slam and brutal death has been using forever, you know. But it's like, you know, to me hip hop always like got me moving, and that's like what I wanted out of music, to like feel a groove and like lock in on a groove. And slam has provided the same thing, but with a totally different tonal palette.
What
So
was that first 3-6 album for you? What was
okay,
the first
the one that like made me love them is When the Smoke Clears.
So is that Sipping on Some Scissor?
Yeah, that was on there.
Yeah. So that was like right when I started to fall off with them, because I came across them on World Domination Chapter 2 or whatever with the Tear the Club Up. That was the jam
Oh yeah,
in
that's like the
97.
same. Yeah, tear the club up, thugs. That
So
shit.
no, that was like 2000. So
Oh, okay.
97 was 3-6's album World Domination, which is Chapter 2. Chapter 1 was the end, and but Tear the Club Up was the hit or the single from that whatever, and that was the first song I had heard. But dude, that song dates back to like 94. They've been redoing that song, and then they did, you're talking about Tear the Club Up, thugs, like that was a whole thing after. That was like the way they followed that album. They didn't do When the Smoke Clears right after the one I'm talking about, but it really is technically like the the third 3-6 Mafia album or whatever. But yeah, dude, like that Memphis sound is definitely, I believe there's tons of metal dudes that play our style of music that connect with that sound, the evil aspects of it. Like there's all the devil shit and all the fucking, it is very, very akin to death metal. Very, very akin. So I love this. Keep going. Like 3-6 Mafia, down south hip hop. And that was through video games, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would say licensed soundtracks is really what did it. Because I remember also not too far later, there was like Navy commercials that used a Godsmack song. So I was like, gotta get this Godsmack CD from the library.
Yeah.
I didn't like. I like that one song. I don't like Godsmack really.
Was that with the pierced chick on the cover?
Dude, I don't even remember because like all the library CDs were like sometimes you just get the disc.
Oh yeah. Dude, that's like going to rent things from the library. Who the fuck does that anymore? You know? Like I remember I spent hours in the library when I was a kid, and I don't even know if my kids know what a library is, dude.
I was chilling with my friend, and he had a book he was reading from the library. So at least one guy's still doing it out here. I remember getting definitely books. I don't know. I remember being told multiple times, like, dude, the library has like DVDs and video games and stuff. But I don't know if I ever resorted to it. But
I remember feeling like I stepped up as a human when I got a library card.
oh
To
yeah,
have the card in your wallet, and you're like, oh, dude, what up, dude? I can go into a library, this library, and I can take out anything I want.
So then going into high school, are you guys getting into like more extreme metal at some point? Are you guys starting projects or picking up instruments at least? Or
I think it was like middle school, like end of middle school where we got into metal. From like for me, the big one was like Guitar Hero, like again a game with a licensed soundtrack, and that introduced me to like to like what was on there? Slayer was on there. Guitar Hero 3, that was our first Guitar Hero. Slayer, Iron Maiden, which was my first favorite metal band. Metallica was on there. Buckethead was on that. Big reason why I wanted to play guitar.
Shit.
oh yeah,
Yeah, a lot of that shit. And then like discovering YouTube and then just being like, what's this? What's this thing? And eventually you get to fucking Scat Bubble and Torso Fuck.
Yep, it won't take long, dude.
But yeah, like me and Noni's first death metal bands, because like at this point, this is the point where we start showing each other music like constantly.
So what? You're like teenagers?
Yeah, 8th grade. I'm in 8th grade.
Okay.
Noni's, so I'm 13. Noni's 14.
Mm-hmm.
First death metal bands we got into. I was in 8th grade when I heard Crystal Mountain the first time. So then we got really into Symbolic. Listened to that whole album. Morbid Angel, Altars of Madness. I think we were listening to front to back at that time.
It started with
for me, it was Altars of Madness, the song, or no, Maze of Torment, the song.
But the metal thing started with like Iron Maiden, Metallica.
Yeah.
Time it was like.
So you guys like proper metal first before you got into the more extreme shit.
Yeah.
Even though it was like much easier for you guys to access it all, you still kind of fell into this rite of passage thing where it was like metal and then extreme metal.
Yeah, because we weren't exposed to extreme metal. Well, we like I straight up was not exposed to it. Like there was no death metal in Guitar Hero or any licensed soundtrack that I ever heard.
Right.
So like, we had to go in that way because like if I'm not into metal yet, no way I'm gonna get into extreme metal right away. Like at least with what I had known previously.
Right. It wouldn't have translated.
As soon as death metal clicked is when like everything else was like open,
Who do you think out of you two actually heard the first death metal song and brought it to the other one?
I think I showed Noni Maze of Torment. Pretty sure that was me.
Yeah.
Dude, that walk-in video where David Vincent's in that fucking tight ass leather shit.
Yeah. So what was it like? Talk about that experience. Like, dude, I found this. What do you? And you guys sat there and experienced it together. Noni, what was your reaction? I want to know about that specific moment.
It's pretty hard for me because we've done that so many times since then. Like it's hard to remember any one specific interaction. I remember being super blown away by the first riff in Maze of Torment. I think that's the one that really did me in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
just
know.
probably hearing Pete's fucking drumming. Like the first time I heard Morbid Angel was a confusing situation because Pete the Feet was now coming into my life, you know. That literally is how you feel when you look back on it, like, oh dude, Pete Sandoval is now a part of my reality the first time you listen to Morbid Angel, you know. And it is a overwhelming experience, no doubt.
That song just like I love how it like does sound like a maze of torment, like you're trying to escape
Yep.
and you're just trying to escape through some labyrinth and you can't get out. It's just like
You're forced to experience it, dude.
they caught the vibe. Yeah, like they really had like a concept there, and the music really is about that, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, one huge thing in that song that I think when you hear it the first time, especially as a child, and you just go, "What the fuck is that laugh in the beginning?" When the
Oh yeah, for sure.
camera, like
Yeah. Yeah.
so fucking hard. Like never heard any shit like that before.
Yeah.
Like
Hell
a
yeah.
fucking villain laugh on the heavy riff.
Totally.
And yeah, if you fuck with Slayer and then Maze of Torment or like that Altars, it's like just enough blast beats to be like the next step without it being like what the fuck is going on, because there's enough like skank parts and double bass parts and like slower parts that you have enough Slayer there that you're like confident you get all
I've
that.
already I just locked it in, dude. I'm gonna be listening to Morbid Angel at work.
Yeah. What's
Tomorrow
funny
now,
is
dude.
I showed my girlfriend who like doesn't listen to any metal at all whatsoever. Stuff I was working on, and she was like, "Oh yeah, that's cool," but like that's like, what's that one beat? And she kept pointing it out, and I was like, "Oh, that's the skank beat." And she was like, "Skank beat." She was like, "I don't like this beat." Sounds like really like off, like it's just not on time or something like that. And then we were like driving up to Santa Cruz to hang with Anthony,
Yeah.
I'm like, and she like brought it up again, and she was like, "That skanky beat." Skanky, and I was like,
Yeah.
that damn
Ricky
skanky beat sucks.
Ricky Myers calls them polka beats, and he's like, I'm not
Polka
playing
beats,
polka beats
yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about this with Embodied Torment. I love proper skank beat, dude.
Oh yeah, me too.
I'm
no
definitely
problem.
still down with the proper skank, dude.
Totally
Yeah.
down with the skank beat.
Yeah.
Personally, yes.
I think when you put it in the right place, it's the sickest shit ever.
Hell
But
yeah.
if it's not time for a skank beat,
No, you feel, I know what you're talking
You got to be in
about.
the mood for a skank beat. It's got to
Yep.
be the right, like,
Yeah.
If
You need to lead, if you're gonna still have a skank, you need to lead me into it correctly. Take my hand,
totally. Yeah.
take me through it properly, comfortably, and then into the skank, and then I'll swan dive into it.
Are you guys? Do you guys like the snare on the blast as loud as the skank, or do you like them a little subdued?
It's got to be a little subdued.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear every transient. I want to kind of like know it's there without hearing it,
Mm-hmm. Some people like they get off on like, oh, when the blast snare is as loud as the skank. I'm like, no, it shouldn't be as loud. It really can't be that loud. But
Dude, okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna totally take it off right now. I'm reading the chat. Ian, I just gotta mention this. Your nickname was Pig Destroyer. I want to, one, know the backstory of that, and two, I have a cousin. Shout out Teresa. We've been calling her Pig Destroyer since I was in high school because there would be times at parties where she would get super loud and in your face, and we would just be like, it's literally like pressing play on Pig Destroyer right into your face when she's talking to you. So shout out Pig Destroyer, shout out Teresa, shout out Ian. Love all of you, all three, the band included. Love it all.
So when you guys start playing guitar?
I was 13 and Noni was 14.
Okay.
I got my first guitar. It was an Epiphone Strat from Music Around Cockeysville. Still go there to this day. I had my guitar for like a month, and I'd be like learning like Buckethead and Iron Maiden on it. And then whenever I'd be downstairs playing video games, like Noni would play on my guitar. So then eventually Noni got his own guitar because he kept playing on mine.
My first guitar came from a box at a Walmart.
Hell yeah.
Hey, I mean, again, like introductions, like you having the opportunity to make a connection with the instrument and really realize that you wanted to play it. I'm totally down for introductory instruments, like, because again, as a parent, I'm like, if I buy a $200 guitar for my kid and he lets it gather dust in the corner, that was a bad $200 investment. A Walmart guitar, how much was a Walmart guitar, you think?
I think it was like 150 or so. It came with a little
Okay.
amp.
So that's an investment, dude.
It was awesome though.
That's a
I
hit
mean,
or
like
miss.
the alternative is like $300 or something, and you don't get an amp with it.
Right. Like you're saying, just an electric without the amp. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
There's nothing better to
15-watt practice amp or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're gonna. Oh yeah. So okay. So then I'm just gonna keep asking questions. Next, I keep already asking them, and I'm asking them again. First, would you guys like start a band right away, or do you guys like find some people to jam with, or?
I had some friends in like high school, like freshman year. Actually, kind of weird. I had this one friend that I was kind of learning with.
Mhm.
He was like learning bass. His name was Tristan. We kind of like we both like really liked Megadeth and Metallica and shit, like those early day stuff. We made a band with this really, really Christian kid, Thomas Cord, but he was the only drummer that liked metal in the school. His
Mhm.
favorite band was what's that extremely Christian metalcore band from Becoming the Archetype. That was like his favorite band.
Mhm.
Funny story about that kid. He became an atheist in college. I think super badass. But anyways, at the time, super religious, and we would like try and like play. We try and like write our own songs or like play like Megadeth songs and stuff. It was kind of like just a good learning experience with like playing with other people, like what's playing with other people like and stuff like that. Like, you know, I remember trying to show this kid Morbid Angel. He didn't have access to YouTube because his parents were extremely Christian, and he would have to like ask them about stuff. He wasn't allowed to listen to Morbid Angel, so that
How was
created.
it with you guys? Did you guys have to hide anything or?
Didn't have to hide that we like music and stuff.
Totally, but like the contents of shit, because we've literally had people on the show that have said they had to bury their CDs like somewhere secret in order to keep it away from their parents.
Nah, our parents did not. I mean, I don't think that they saw all the imagery, and the imagery that they did see would be like the Metallica covers or Megadeth covers, which is like kind of brutal, but like
Yeah.
yeah, we never had like a Cannibal Corpse CD or anything
No
like
need,
that. They were just
no need
never
looks like he wants to
actually
talk, dude.
exposed to that.
There was one time we went to go see Anal Cunt at Sonar.
Oh shit. Shout out.
We referred to them as AC because we knew that
Right.
that was over that line, right? I don't think they would have let us go to that show
For sure.
if they knew what the band was called.
And they referred to themselves as AC in a lot of occasions too, for that same exact reason. That name will never get a positive response unless it's somebody who has already been exposed to them, which it's oh dude, you've seen Seth Putnam on stage, dude. That's
Dude,
actually,
it was so bad. It was so bad.
oh, I'm sure it was terrible, dude. I'm sure it was.
I thought it would at least be funny.
Yeah, no, I think that that was something that I was exposed to at a younger age, where I'm like, you know what? There was something about it that everybody was like, "Oh, dude, check this out." But really, I'm like actually into grindcore, and there's so much better grindcore out there than that band, Like what they stand for is a separate thing, but I'm just like, I've watched footage of that guitar player playing a riff, and you're just like, that they call that a riff? Like he's literally just like, but maybe it might be something. Maybe you guys can translate it into something that's like, oh, dude, no, dude, he's totally using this fucking scale.
Do that again, that riff. Dude.
No, I bet you could find something in there. You know what? Like similar thing. Have you seen any of the Andy James transcriptions of Kerry King solos?
No, but that sounds amazing already.
He like makes sense of them, and they're not good anymore.
Yeah, I believe it.
I totally believe it too, dude. I mean, the guy who has to get his tattoo touched up every 6 months, dude, his solos are always going to be terrible. No, I'm just joking. Love you, Kerry King. I love Slayer. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm drinking, guys. Oh, yeah, I'm drinking, so that's why I'm talking like this. Sorry.
Hell yeah! What other like early shows did you guys go see that got you like psyched on live music?
Our first one, I think that was like super iconic for both of us, was Megadeth.
Hell yeah!
On the 20th anniversary, rest in peace. We were and still are huge Megadeth stands.
Mhm.
Like, I've always loved Megadeth for like guitar stuff, but even just like always loved the songs. That show was crazy because it was like first time seeing Megadeth live, first time seeing Testament live. Yeah, Exodus was there as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, for like the shit we liked at that time, that was like big dog shit. Other huge show at that time for me, I saw Atheist. I already said that, but I saw Atheist, which was like, I would say my first like more underground show where there were not 1,000 people.
Yeah.
But like,
Where
still
at?
fun as
What?
shit.
And still in Baltimore?
Yo, I saw this shit at Sonar actually.
Okay.
The middle stage at Sonar.
Yeah. Yeah. I know which one. Not the main room. Is it middle stage? So what? Is it set up like 1, 2, 3? If you were to look at it from.
Okay, if I remember the layout correctly, if you went through the front to the left, there was the big stage, like
Yes.
500, 700 cap. And
Mhm.
then to the right, there was another hallway that had medium-sized room, which probably was like 200 cap. And then the bar stage at the very end, which was like not even a real stage.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was in that middle room.
Okay. Yeah, I totally remember this, dude. That's crazy.
I think Revocation
not
was
the
there. It was
show,
my
but it's
first
just the
time seeing
layout.
Revocation.
Mm.
So Atheist was playing with who?
I think it was Atheist, Last Chance to Reason, Revocation. There was somebody else on there that I can't remember. And then
Was that your first?
crazily enough, we just found this out like last month that Wormhole's bass player Basil, his band at the time in 2010, opened that show before I hadn't known about Basil till like
Wow.
6 years later. But apparently I'd seen
Crazy.
his band back then.
Isn't that wild? I mean, yeah, it's like it's a small world, and it's even smaller when you're in death metal. But at the same time, it's crazy to be like, oh, dude, we crossed paths at X amount of years ago before we actually knew each other. We were like in the same room, dude, and now we're in the band together. You know, like that shit's cool as shit. So my question, I don't know if was Atheist. Did you know about Atheist before that show?
Yeah.
Okay,
That was like
okay.
because I had learned about death, like, and I was just getting into death at the time, so I had heard about Atheist is playing, and I had seen on YouTube Atheist is always in the related videos of death. So I was like, oh shit, this band's playing. Let's binge this discography, and yeah,
Hell yeah.
and then fucking saw some real shit for the first time.
Hell
was
yeah.
that was like they must have been promoting the Jupiter record at the time, I guess.
Yeah, which I think is a bomb record, man.
Yeah,
I think it's sick, dude.
Yep.
I mean, it's definitely, no matter what, everybody's gonna put it outside of the 3 records before it.
The Atheist meta.
It actually it is totally canon for me, and not only is it canon, but I think it's like really fucking cool for them to be able to bring it back and still totally hit like the same vibes at certain times on that record, you totally still know it's Atheist on that record,
Yeah.
you know? And
Yeah. Shout out to Alex Haddad of Atheist.
He's coming on the pod.
Oh shit, he rules, man.
hell
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
He's coming on soon.
Yeah, we're stoked.
That's
But
sick.
yeah, dude. It's no matter what, it's hard to hit the same get into the same vibe as your earlier shit if you come back and redo it, you know?
Yeah.
I still have not seen Atheist. I've missed every fucking tour they've done in the last 5, 6 years.
Quality stuff, dude.
I fucking they're a big one, and I keep chalking it up. Just like fuck.
Got to see him with them and Suffo. Got to see them in Cynic, and I'm just like Cynic and Atheist, dude. Totally a band that needs to keep going, and more crowds need to, because like you were saying, it was a small crowd. Like, when is Atheist gonna get like a bigger crowd to be exposed to that feeling of watching something like Atheist be performed? Because it's something totally different, dude. I don't know. I'm rambling now. Shut me up.
All right, we'll cut you off. So sick. So let's catch up to like kind of when Wormhole sort of gets off the ground. So I know you guys had like a brutal project before Wormhole.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
what the name
Bands.
was,
Yeah,
but
I'll
I
tell you
know
about
there's a
that
demo I need to listen to at some point.
Okay, it was called Rotting Phallus. It was
Yeah, that
we
was
call
it.
it Proto Wormhole.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically me and Noni met these people in college, and we're like, yo, let's make a band. Like, kind of just for the fun of it. We were gonna have a guy. He was in a dick costume, and he was the Rotting Phallus of Rotting Phallus. And he just run
That's
around and
sick.
shit. But
A true mascot.
yeah. Oh, we were just doing it. It's like all just for fun and shit like
Mhm.
that.
Totally.
But like me and Noni were making all the songs, and I mean, we actually liked the songs, and we were like, I think, learning a lot while making those songs, so they were kind of like, close to home.
Mhm.
Anyway, band broke up. Me and Noni left, and took the songs too, because they never got released or anything on Rotting Phallus, and then those songs became the first Wormhole album. Some of them were
Nice.
written post new band, but most of them were from Rotting
Gotcha.
Phallus, and they had different names. Like Nurtured in a Poisoned Womb was called Green Eggs and Slam in Rotting Phallus.
That's how Odious does it too, dude. we make we have such funny names before they actually become the real name for the song.
Yeah, I need to stay making like funny demo names. Like now I just have like code names for shit, and honestly, like it's harder to know what's what,
Well, let me ask you about the names on, well, Casey's not here. He wanted to talk about DS3, but let's skip that one. Is that the name?
Yeah, let's wait until Casey's back to talk about that song, because he did connect with that.
Okay, so skipping that song for now, what about the rest of so are they all like, I am a little bit of a science geek, but not anywhere near an actual scientist. So I like catch a vibe, but I'm like, is it legit, or is it just kind of like wormed style, like pseudoscientific blabber? Like where do you guys go on that?
It's Metroid Prime lore.
Oh, it's Prime. Okay.
Yeah. So, in Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3, you can scan stuff. All right. And there's like lore things that you can scan that give you a lot of backstory on like shit that's going on. So a lot of the lyrics are just like based on the scan lore.
Gotcha.
So,
A lot of the song titles.
yeah, the song titles too. So a lot of the shit, like pseudoscience shit, is like Metroid Prime pseudoscience about the fucking aliens.
I think I had heard that at some point, and I just had forgotten it. So it works, since I didn't think like, oh, it's so obviously Metroid that like colors the experience or whatever. So that's
a lot
cool.
of the like all the album covers are Metroid inspired as well. Like,
yeah.
honestly, like going back to the video game thing, like Metroid Prime soundtrack is also huge for the tonalities and shit like that we like and stuff.
Mhm.
But like that whole sci okay, that sci-fi death metal thing is like normal now, you know, but
Right.
like for us, it wasn't about like being a sci-fi death metal band. It was just like, oh, we both really like Metroid. Let's do Metroid style because that's what we like.
Right.
That's sick.
That's totally cool, dude.
It's got the right amount of like fun bounciness without taking yourself too seriously, but it also has enough like, I don't know, hardness to it. That's not just like SpongeBob. Like if you guys went all in on SpongeBob.
Which, by the way, if you guys totally came at me right now and you were just like, dude, we grew up on SpongeBob and the soundtrack of SpongeBob was really like our thing, you know, and dude, you could spin that into something that I will still just as much respect as any other thing, dude. And actually, video games is a kind of a more common thing. That is, you know, 142 episodes into this thing, there's certain commonalities, and video games has definitely come up as a proper main influence for people and creating music, you know. So again, mad respect, and plus it's Metroids, which is even double mad respect because that's an OG game right there, you
Yeah,
know.
nobody gives Metroid enough love, man. Nobody ever.
Right. So, and then the sci-fi, it's like you the multiverse thing where you found this like different dimension of sci-fi that not a lot of people are talking about. You know,
Yeah.
everybody's going sci-fi, so you're like, well, here's this
Yeah.
Metroid wormhole. I'm going to go down that wormhole and find inspiration there.
I forget. Do you guys have that same sample that like the Faceless used and Tool used? Where it's like they're aliens from the planet. It's
Oh
like
no, we never used that one. No.
Okay, I feel like I've heard it a third
used the
time, and
other
I'm like,
one.
what?
We use the other common sample.
The
is
other
true.
common sample. Okay, for sure. I'll just throw my hat in. I have a solo project called Psionic, which is like aesthetically inspired by StarCraft, the Protoss,
Whoa.
and
Another underappreciated sci-fi world.
but lyrically, it's not going to be about anything in that universe as far as I've planned it so far. But aesthetically, I was like, yeah, I fuck with Protoss, bro, and Zerg too. Like, there should be a Zerg band out there. I feel like to fuck with me, so we can tour together or something. I don't know, but yeah, there's a lot of fucking, I don't know, stuff to mine out of that area. And I mean, you know, like who cares? You know, zombies and stuff. Like some of the early gore stuff that, you know, we got to move away from that. I feel like so. But yeah. All right. Well, let's see. So you guys get the first album together based on those songs that you had from the previous band, and then what's the lineup at that point? And I know you aren't with a drummer on the record yet, so are you putting together like a live lineup at some point?
So, Wormhole when we made it, like coming off of Rotting Phallus, was just like gonna be an internet thing. Like, let's just put the music out there because we worked hard on it anyways, and we're proud of it.
Mhm.
So that's when we got like other online vocalists and shit, and we just wanted to just kind of do it and just get it done, kind of thing.
Mhm.
So truly, at that point, Wormhole was just me and Noni. And it
Okay.
wasn't until we were going to do our first show and then do our first tour that we got the live lineup. And Matt was in Rotting Phallus before, and then we just got him back again in Wormhole.
So how far back do you guys go with Matt?
2015, I think.
Okay. Okay.
It's probably the first time we jammed together.
And he and Ben Tals go back longer, right? He told me that.
Yes and no. So they had known each other at like this camp over here, Rockstar Jam, when they were like kids.
Okay.
But like they didn't realize that they had known each other since they were kids until like they reconnected as adults.
Oh, okay.
But it it was funny because like I remember at one point, I think we were at Sidebar and Wormhole was playing, and like Ben asked like Drew was like, whatever happened to Matt from like Sunday Jams? And Drew would be like, you mean that, Matt? And I was like, yeah, that's when Ben put them together or some shit.
That's sick.
But
yeah.
yeah. Matt ended up joining Grey Lotus through Wormhole. That connection.
Okay, that's the
there.
order of So you guys put together a lineup for the live show. What was your guys' first show? And like
it was okay. It has an official name, South Jersey Fest, by Rob Wharton, but locally known as Rob Fest.
Nice.
And it was fucking crazy. The lineup, I think top to bottom, headliner was Revocation, Nader Sedek, Cognitive, Wormhole, Piran, Replicire. I think that's the only ones that I remember. But it was like first show, like why the fuck are we all the way up there? But it was like awesome, and that got us like hella hype on doing Wormhole as like a live band. Then we got our first tour offer the next year, and after that, like we started actually like being a real band and not just an internet band.
So yeah, you guys got that high of that first show and all these sick bands that you're playing with, and you're like, oh shit, dude, we're in the real deal right now. That's how you feel in that moment, right? So then you go back home and you're like, we need to fucking drop some new blueprints, dude. Let's get some new songs going. Let's keep this thing rolling. Because I mean that feeling is almost like fully charging the creative battery that you want to use to put that energy into something, to go back to do another show and then get more energy and bring it back. It's kind of like this like back and forth thing that we do. Like we're building up and making these things to go out and perform on stage just for the feeling of performing them on stage and seeing a positive reaction to like a group of people that are there to experience what you're going to give them, and it could totally be different, but finding like the positivity and seeing like people are into it, then you want to go back and do it again. Got to go make more shit and see if they're going to be down with it again. All right. Again, I'm rambling. You guys don't know when to shut me up, dude. You guys need to just be like, Anthony, all right, yes.
I just wanted to let the profanity of that one sit for a little while. That was all. That's sick, dude. So then I remember the hype for sure. There was like, oh, new band, Wormhole, like Tech Slam. Okay, let's check it out. SpongeBob samples. Like, okay, this is cool. So yeah, I was catching it online. So that was like 2015 or something at the first record.
Yeah, 2015 or 16.
Okay. Yeah, I remember going to the gym with it. I remember having it in the gym with me.
Hell yeah.
Proper slam tryouts or whatever.
Were you running on the elliptical or the
I was probably doing like, my 10-minute cardio, 20-minute weight routine, nothing serious.
Warm up on the treadmill and then go bust out some lifts for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not like a gym rat or anything, but
no, that's get it in, get out.
I did
my thing. Yep.
Good place to listen to music for sure.
No doubt.
Let me think. So Sanjay, you were like doing other bands, playing with other projects too. So let's like locate Wormhole within whatever project. And then Noni, I actually don't know what other bands you were, if any, active in at the time as well. So you feel free though to also answer this.
At that time, I had this other local-ish tech death band, Perihelion, that we started. Like that's like my start into like touring and stuff. Did my first tour in 2016. It was like DIY as shit, but hella fun. And I did one more tour with Perihelion.
Is there
and then I did
a release
stuff? Oh yeah, there's a release 2015. It's called Infinite Decay.
Okay.
It's kind of ass. But
Hell yeah.
I was
Gotta
doing like
have that
fill-in stuff.
early 20s release that you just, learn from or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, granted, like I had been putting out music for a long time. I didn't mention this before, but like I did like solo stuff in like high school. Like I had like two solo Sanjay shit of just music I made on my computer. So like I wasn't like I released music before and I was like comfortable with that. But this one, like, I at the time, I knew it was gonna be ass because nobody really knew what they were doing, including me. But anyways, learning experience. That was my band to like learn how to do shit wrong so that I could learn how to do it right.
Yep.
Number one was pay for somebody to mix it. That was yeah. Anyways, um, I was doing like fill-in stuff at the time. I did a fill-in tour for Veil of Nath, which was like that was my introduction to like more real shit. Yeah, and then all those experiences I think helped us like start up Wormhole and have like kind of a better idea of what to do there. But I'd say like when Wormhole picked up, after that first show, like Perihelion basically stopped being a thing, and Wormhole was like the only thing for like a year and a half.
Noni, what were you doing during that time?
I was just like starting to write music for the first time with Rotting Phallus, so I was like super invested in Wormhole. I never really released music before.
No, I know, but I'm saying like when Sanjay was out on the road and all these different projects, what were you doing during that time?
I was practicing guitar at home a lot.
Okay.
We were also in school at that time when we were just starting the band stuff.
So you're just honing your craft at home and just
I was probably not spending my
the
time
hours
as productively as I could have.
Right. I'm a college head, so I got to ask what you guys studied in college.
I did math and history.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
I did information systems.
Whoa,
It was
what the fuck is
bullshit, man. It was the easiest shit in the world.
Information systems?
Yo, I was comp sci at first for like a year, and I was like, wow, this is fucking so hard. These projects are crazy. It was like fucking minimum 3 hours a day of like work, and then I switched to information systems, became minimum or maximum 3 hours a week.
Whoa.
Just memorize words and PowerPoints as opposed to making anyway, college was easy. I had a lot of time to play guitar and shit during college because I didn't need to spend a lot of time on my bullshit degree.
Yeah.
So math and history, what is any specific math and specific history, Noni?
For history, I never get to talk about this, by the way, so I'm very excited to.
Go for it, dude. I want to hear this.
I mean, growing up, I was a World War II kid. So I loved reading about World War II. Then we had family in Japan. So we had did a couple of vacations in Japan growing up. So when I was in college, it was Japanese history from 1868 to 1945. So like, I could go on for like,
dude, please let loose. I want educate me, bro.
I mean, so Japan had like 200 years of isolation. I'm sure you've heard of like feudal Japan and that sort of thing, like the warlords fighting each other. So one guy's solution was, I'm going to take away all the outside influence. So he united Japan and he said no one else is allowed inside. And so there's like 200 years of that, right? So that
was like Christianity was illegal and stuff. And
yeah, exactly. That was a huge thing.
Portuguese
came with missionaries and started some shit.
True.
But then so when that ends in 1868 or 1864, really, they're like 200 years behind everybody else in technology, right?
Japan is because of that. Okay.
and the rest of the world just had the Industrial Revolution. So Japan still got like boats made out of wood and swords, and the rest of the world has steam-powered boats and muskets and guns.
Shit.
But then, like, not even 100 years later, right? World War II, Japan is like the 7th largest empire ever. So my like study in school was, how did they get from point A to point B there, right? How
do you think
start?
The realization of realizing that you're 200 years behind, like,
Yeah, no, 100%.
will
Like other
definitely
countries,
spark a fire under everybody and get moving quicker.
yeah,
Try and catch up.
they westernized like fast as fuck. They knew like, oh shit, we're behind. Like,
Yeah.
and if you look at how China reacted, they kind of had the opposite reaction, where it was like, all right, we're not going to learn how to be Western. We're just going to be more Chinese. And they got fucked for the next 100 years.
By Japan.
by everybody.
For sure.
Yeah, dude. See, that's
Well, now they're catching up too, so yeah.
I wish I
We're
had
already fucking
enough
ahead of everyone,
time
yeah.
to learn all this stuff, because this all is so interesting to me, but I have a set amount of reading time, and I always end up just reading obscure weird shit and not really learning anything at all. But
Obscure shit as opposed to 18th, 19th century
I know,
Japanese
I
history.
guess that is obscure if you're like, but history has always been an intriguing thing for me, dude. And even when I was, not liking the academic life at all, it was still history and art were still a thing that I was like, oh yeah, dude. No, I still am interested in this. But
I always felt like in history class, they never talk about the stuff that
right.
is going to get you interested. Like they could talk about this guy from France who like conquered Europe, but no, let's talk about whatever,
French Revolution or something.
Yeah.
Or I mean, going to ancient shit, like, I didn't really get interested in the Sumerians until I was in my 20s, dude. And I up until that point, Egypt was like the biggest thing,
I didn't even know what Sumerians were until I got to college. Like,
isn't that crazy, dude? And you realize like everybody still calls that the cradle of civilization, and you're just like, wait, I didn't know about this at all during my whole academic career. I mean, it may have been talked about, and I let it go over my head because obviously I didn't pay as much attention in high school as I should have. And I didn't do much college after that. But I guess it really is just like I eventually found it anyways, and I did my own digging and actually realized that super interesting stuff, dude. And I think that I don't know, history is something that may seem boring to a lot of people, but it's actually pretty rad if you find a certain area of history that you really connect with. You're like, oh shit, dude, this is happening like only a few hundred years before me or whatever, and so different, so vastly different. When you read some things, you're like, I can wash my ass, dude. That wasn't a thing, and it's not very long ago,
Think about that too. Yeah, I'm definitely like I would rather watch like a history documentary than some whatever TV show kind of guy. So
yeah, I mean, audiobook or
and my jam
too,
is like history of science for sure, and I guess 20th century American history, so it's not so historical, but I feel like
Anthony,
I gotta learn how we got here.
You need to check out the like new like thing that's going around with all these like endless like big bangs, like the Brian Cox like astrophysics, like
okay,
like the Big Bang just keeps happening like over and over again, like this like perpetual like echo of Big Bang.
Loop of Big Bangs.
So the multiverse, dude, going back to that. But like I'm watching some shit where I'm just like, I have no idea what's going on, but like I'm like trying to understand the physics of like these things and like
Yeah.
it's really interesting.
That totally grabs my attention, dude. But that's like so much further back than what we were just talking about. We're like, dude, all I can handle is like a couple hundred years, dude.
Yeah. Now
Just
back to the big thing. 13 billion point. No, wait, it's 27 billion. Wait, how many years did the Big Bang?
I don't fucking know, dude.
14.
But it's like it can. But there was like this whole idea of like it, like kind of going against the idea that like time started 13 point whatever billion years ago, the Big Bang, whatever. It's like no, it goes like back further, or like it never really started, and then it was like it's like this perpetual echo of like the same thing, or like
It's like
or
breathing out.
You should check out PBS Space Time. I think you'd really like it.
PDS Space Time.
Yeah.
PDS. What does that
PBS,
stand for?
PBS.
Yeah.
Oh, PBS Space Time. The PBS, the
it's like a YouTube channel
whatever.
that they do for this. But they go like really in depth with this stuff.
Really?
Yeah. They cover every like weird physics.
Shout
topic.
out PBS for always being on
PBS
point.
is the shit.
Even since I was a kid, dude, you've always been on point, PBS.
Shout out. Collab with them actually.
CDP, PBS,
PBS. Spotlight. Getting us on there. All right.
Yes.
Hell yeah. So let's try to catch up on the timeline to like kind of the present day. So you are now like 100% in on Wormhole.
Speaking of wormholes, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna make a joke about that too.
But
I think I already did make a joke about it. I don't even remember. I may have.
Well, so I do want to hit on touch on Equipoise and obviously Gray Lotus for me because that's my favorite.
Still no banana hands.
Oh
shit, dude!
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I know this book is insane, bro. Ben is a genius, and I mean, so are you guys. But fucking Ben is amazing. But anyway, yeah. So you guys do a bunch of tours. I mean, so you guys take Wormhole like you basically turn it into like your business. Is that the idea? Like, let's see if we can like make it in the industry with this project. Was that the mindset?
That's the plan. Money is really hard.
Very.
But this last tour, I would say, was our best numbers yet.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's looking good.
So you guys have like been to Europe already some years back.
Yeah, that was our Wormhole's first tour. Actually, was a Euro tour.
Yeah.
Trip
with was Vulva. Wait.
Yeah. Vulvadinia, Placenta Power Fist, Blade of Horus.
Hell yeah. And then what else did you guys do? Like, what are the other, all those posters behind you? Let's just run down some fucking the timeline of tours. That's always fun.
I collect posters from all my shows.
Hell yeah!
Sick. Look at that.
I wish I did something like that.
There's a whole pile behind Noni of like way more because I haven't had any room and I've done like many tours since.
You're way smarter than me, dude. But like, now that I'm thinking about it, if I ever had a man cave, I would want it to look just like that. All the posters.
The plan is to get enough posters so there's like literally no white space on any wall. It's just like a wallpaper of.
See, now you're touching on the video games and Tetris with me, dude. I'm like, Tetris taught me how to do that, dude. I would totally be able to like work a wall like that. If you gave me a bunch of different posters, I would figure out the best way to fit them for sure.
I got some weird sizes.
If you're going on vacation, dude, and you got a pile of luggage, I'm the man that will layer it to where you can still see out the back of your window, dude.
But yeah, looking at the posters, Wormhole's only done, I can actually count all the tours. Okay, first tour, 2018 with Vulvadinia, Europe. Same year, later that summer, we did Wormhole Cognitive. It was called the Slam Chop Tour. Wait, oh fuck. If you see, oh shit. Damn, this shit's hard, bro.
I know, dude.
Bro. Wait a minute. Yeah.
All right. There's the poster. There's the Slam Chop right there.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, that was 2018. 2019, Wormhole did Tech Trek with Archspire, Inferi, Vervum. Then later that year, we did Maritimes Canada run, was only like a week with Beyond Creation, Exist, Equipoise. And then post-COVID, we did a headliner tour with Flood, Party Cannon. Then we did that Shadow of Intent tour with Enterprise Earth and Fury. And then we just did this Analepsy one. So that's every Wormhole tour ever.
Nice.
Not really that many, only like 7 or 8.
Still pretty solid though. All the names
We
you're
had the
dropping.
2-year break. Everybody.
Yeah, we did have a long break there.
Right. But I mean, how'd you guys treat that? You guys get creative in that's during that time?
I cooked up some heat. Actually, I had a complicated it was complicated, but the first part of it, I wrote all of my songs for the new Wormhole record and the new Equipoise record. Like the first month was just like, oh, I'm home. Let's fucking do this shit.
Right.
I also started just buying shit like pedals and stuff for fun and making that an addiction. So I was like trying out a lot of stuff. So it was a good creativity thing.
Oh, yeah.
And what about you, Noni? What did you do during that time?
That was definitely a rough time when it first hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did our new Wormhole songs. I mean, the whole record happened, I feel like, during COVID time. The whole process. I feel like we just finished it as things were opening up. And then I started my own little side project, which is just now my true, I feel, pandemic project is coming complete.
Right. To fruition. Nice, dude. Do you want to drop that? What's any name for it or anything? Is it a one-man thing?
That's it's a project me and my four-man project.
Okay.
Anthony, Wormhole's live vocalist, he's doing the record with me. He already did his parts.
Nice.
We have a friend from the area, Tim, playing bass. And now Brody, who Sanjay met touring with him in Equipoise, is programming drums for it.
Hell yeah. Yeah,
And
he's insane.
are you the main songwriter for that thing?
Yeah, definitely.
What's the name?
What's it called?
Right now the name is Flagra.
Okay.
We've gone back and forth on how we're going to spell it.
You don't have to divulge the mystery behind that word, but you can.
I mean, it's
tell us
all.
what it means.
The whole record is about plants.
Nice, dude. Okay.
Like,
already, I'm super into it.
Yeah, so you got a big scary plant on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
All the songs are about being a plant, liking the sun, liking when it rains.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god, dude, you're hitting me. This is the simple shit that like makes me feel good. Is like
I feel like you could take
plants
anything.
and dirt. Plants and dirt, dude. Plants and dirt always make me happy.
I feel like you could take anything like that, and like if you put it in the right lens, it can be like brutal and metal as fuck.
I'm gonna give you guys a little insight to my life, dude. I literally cried over a tree 2 days ago. The banyan tree in Maui is something that I've had a big connection with, and dude, I don't know what condition it's in right now, but the area that it's in just fucking went up in flames, dude. And I literally have been having fucking anxiety over it. I'm getting emotional right now, dude, over a fucking tree.
I also have been really kind of not chill with Maui on fire right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I grew up going there too. So
yeah, dude. So yeah, I have a connection with plants and shit. I don't know. I'm a fucking hippie. I'm sorry.
I mean, my connection is more with the coral and the fish, so I'm a little hoping that they're okay. But I'm sure
been fucking that shit up for years, dude. And I've contributed to it, so I can't really talk on that part because I have gone snorkeling with fucking sunblock on, and now I feel like an asshole.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm pretty sure all that ash in the air is not going to be good for the water dwellers either. But I'm not a biologist.
I know, dude. Yeah, and yeah, I just think about all the small businesses there. I don't want to make this a bummer. I'm sorry, but there's so many small businesses right there. There's fucking yeah. It's just I hope everybody comes out of that as strong as they can, dude.
For sure.
right.
So yeah, so back on the wormhole kick, or let me
back onto his plant.
Oh, the
band.
plant
Yeah.
Flagra, yeah. Yeah, anything else to say about it? Is there a release date or anything?
No, nothing like that. I mean, I usually don't really like to talk about it too much until it's like
For sure.
Good. All right.
done.
Yeah,
but
let's keep it
I
a
feel like
mystery.
if I tell people about it too early, that's when I end up not doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Just let it happen naturally, dude.
I'm here for it.
You don't want to rush anything, no doubt. Like, don't do it for anybody else except for yourself, dude.
Do you fuck with Plantasia? The Music for Plants record?
I have heard that, and I looked it up when I was making this record because I was trying to find cool stuff
Mm-hmm.
for, like, you know, in between song kind of thing or after a song. And yeah, I did find that album, Music for Plants.
It's really good. It's meant to play to plants, and it's just cool sounding synths. It's really fun. Good record.
I feel like I always find music like that weird, like music for cats or music for plants, because I part of me feels like if the music was really for plants, I wouldn't enjoy it.
Yeah,
I feel like they probably have a totally different.
I hear that. I feel that. Yeah, I want to do a music for cows project at some point. I think about cows and their music tastes more than other animals for some reason. I don't know why. I feel like they just get bored. So I don't know.
Death Clock did an album for fish.
Yeah, they did one for fish. So that's already.
Sleepy Time Gorilla Museum did their first show to a slug.
I did not know that. That's sick. But yeah.
By the way, Nils does a podcast now, and I'm going to be working on him.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
That's the next weird episode that Anthony's going to try and get. Why am I talking in third person? Shut me up, dude.
No, that's the good stuff that just keep rolling and comes out.
All right.
So yeah, let's try to wrap up any like official Wormhole shit so we can shoot the shit. So new record coming out, Season of Mist, fucking that's huge actually, Season of Mist. So like how did that come about, if you have anything that you're able to talk about with that, because that's like a pretty sick label.
Hell yeah.
Was that Rob? I'm gonna just
he helped us out with that.
Cool.
I would say I'm pretty stoked on Season of Mist. One thing I'm really stoked on is they don't really do like slam, right? They do tech death bands, but they don't do slam. So, they're taking a chance on us on going to some new territory that they haven't gone to.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is going to be huge for us and for the label. The label getting into different genres and us being exposed to an audience that doesn't know this kind of style as well. So yeah, sure, it'll be pretty damn cool.
I think they got under my radar when they signed Cynic, and I was just like, okay, this label's obviously sick, so I got to check it out.
They got a lot of crazy stuff. The only bands I think similar to us that they have are Wormed, and they signed Brodekin a little while ago as well.
I just remember them being like, in my memory, and I might be fucked up with the memory, but it was like melodic black metal or melodic thrash metal. Those types of bands were coming out of Season of Mist back in the day when I first started hearing about Season of Mist. Like Children of Bottom, I think, was one of the bands that came out on Season of Mist back in the day. If I'm not wrong, I might be wrong. Let me actually look that up. You guys keep going, because now I'm interested to drop some bands. No, go. I'm serious, because I want to. I know they have at least proved myself wrong.
I know they have Abath from Immortal signed. But yeah, like Guttural Reef says, it's more like gothic and doom stuff. I associated more with like just European kind of metal stuff. So
That's also pretty accurate.
yeah.
But yeah, Wormhole doesn't really fit, like, at first glance you wouldn't expect Wormhole to fit. But I also think like the fact that we dive into so many other things, like the new material, I think, especially the first single, I think that really fits on Season of Mist.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I guess that's a good way to let me ask a question I was thinking about. So like I hear the new record and I'm hearing a lot of exploration of new influences. So like what, obviously I can, kind of answer the obvious question. Oh, we just wanted to evolve, all that kind of stuff, the usual. But like maybe more specifically, like what were you guys spinning where you're like, oh, I think we should try to incorporate this, or maybe like other bands you're listening to, or just like what kind of vibe were you trying to catch on the new album?
So there actually is no difference in the influences from The Weakest Among Us and the newest record.
Hell yeah.
Like I think maybe the influences are more audible, but like they are literally the same.
Okay.
But I think the difference with the new material is that like we are trying to give the songs stronger identities. That was a huge thing in the writing process, like making sure music is recognizable, et cetera, et cetera. And part of making something recognizable and digestible like that is like themes, right? Like taking a theme and like reinforcing that theme throughout the song. So we did that like way more in like not all the songs, but most of the songs. And that basically means like there are some riffs that are repeating more than once now. Like whereas like you look at DS3, there's one riff that repeats in the whole thing. So what I think is actually happening is we put all of our influences into more concise, direct, digestible songs, and I think that's made the influences more audible. Because I think those influences are there structurally now instead of just riffs. Because like,
so yeah,
here's a big one. Like people are like, oh wow, Wormhole started listening to Artificial Brain. I can tell. Like, yo, motherfucker, I've been listening to Artificial Brain since 2014. Like that was an influence on like literally everything I've done since that shit came out. So the influences aren't new. I think we just upgraded our songwriting, and like you can just hear shit like more prevalently now, just because I think the songs are better.
You've compartmentalized your ideas better. You're saying, yeah.
So there aren't any new influences. It's just a way closer influence on, or fucking paying so much attention to, is this a song, not a riff salad kind of thing.
Yeah, riff salad. That's a common thing, dude. We've all been victim to bands that have just done the riff stacks or riff salad.
I love a good riff salad, but you can't have 8 riff salads in a row,
Totally.
Yeah. Well, hell yeah. Yeah, I'm
so DS. Wait, is Casey with us? Can you want to expand on DS3 with Casey a little bit? Casey, what was your experience with DS3? Yeah, because you mentioned DS3.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a song that stood out to me greatly.
So
while listening to your music,
you just brought it up pre-pod, so I thought you were really excited about it. I don't know if there was anything specific about it. Yeah,
no, the excitement's still there for sure.
Yeah.
No, I think it's great.
Is that the one with the fight riff? No.
That's Ultra Frigid.
Ultra Frigid is the fight riff song.
I mean, they all have fight riffs, but yeah, that's the one with the fight riff.
Okay.
When did you guys come across your first like unique leader band and your dig through death metal?
I think our first unique leader band was probably actually Deeds of Flesh, because like when we were
Nice.
first getting into tech death, the bands were Necrophagist, Beyond Creation, Gorod, The Faceless, Deeds of Flesh. Portals to Canaan had just come out too at that
Mm.
time. And then Spawn of Possession was on Unique at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Then like started diving into it and shit like that. Found like a bunch of bands.
Talk about your Spawn of Possession first listen. Like, do you remember how that happened?
I think Noni showed me Spawn of Possession. At first, it was just like, okay, I think everybody's reaction at first to Spawn is like, wow, this is technical.
Yeah.
Right. And then as you listen to it more and more and more, you notice like you can actually hear the song in there,
Mhm.
and like the developments of themes and riffs. And yeah, it's just crazy. But okay, here's where everybody has a different opinion and different reason for their opinion on what their favorite Spawn record is. If you're like a true fan, right? Took me forever to decide on mine, but like for me, I listened to them going backwards in Curso, Noctambulant, Cabinet, but Cabinet is like easily my
Yeah,
favorite.
me too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a
Noni?
good answer. I mean,
I think like Noctambulant has more of the iconic riffs and sections to me. Like
mhm.
every song on there, I feel like the songs are kind of long and there's a lot of stuff that's like, I don't know, maybe the album's aged a little bit. Like when it came out in 2008, it was like mind-blowing stuff. But some of those sections now, I feel like I've heard some of this before.
One, when I say good answer with Cabinet, that is again just my opinion, and two, I love every single note that Spawn has ever played. You know, like there's
There's no
never
bad
I will.
Yeah.
There is zero. There is absolutely no Spawn song that I will not enjoy if you were to put it on, and that's one thing that we need to get out of there. Like Spawn is so highly regarded for me.
Also, I love Christian Munzner and I love his solos, and he's a huge influence on me.
Yes,
But those guitar solos on the first two Spawn records, top tier death metal solo.
yes, and but I love that you guys. I love that like hearing the newer generation still discovering like a newer Spawn and then still being intrigued to where you have to go dig into their past and hear everything that they did. And dude, I am a proud owner of a Spawn demo, guys. I got
Oh shit.
a physical copy of
Oh,
the
really?
Forbidden demo, dude. Still, I it's like one of those like
With the like old
"Ooh."
Dead and Grotesque version on it.
Whenever I take it out, I literally see it glisten like like a gold bar that I just got out of a fucking safe, dude. Like literally. And I don't even play it. I just look at it because I don't want to scratch it, dude. Just leave it there. I listen to you, and I know I can find you online somewhere, and you're so precious to me. You know, it's such a dying thing to have, like think of a physical copy of something like that, but it's that's still relevant with the Spawn demo. Like yeah, okay, all the Spawn albums that have been thousands of copies, whatever, but
Yeah, the demo sounds great still. It's a fun
Hell yeah,
record,
dude.
fun demo. Have you guys heard that Spawn are
the
essentially back?
Retromorphosis.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited. Every time they post a video, I click on it immediately.
I've heard a lot of it
That drummer's really sick, dude.
because their drummer's very
Yeah,
well, he's not here.
Really sick,
He's
dude.
a really good drummer, and his takes on the new album are great.
So great, dude. His contributions to this album are gonna give it
And
a whole
honestly,
new
that's like
flavor.
my most highly anticipated metal album right now.
There you go.
Casey.
Me too.
Feel it,
Can't
bro.
wait to hear it.
Feel it, bro.
That
Yeah,
It's
Dennis.
so good, guys.
He
It's really good.
I
what's
was
up with
talking,
Dennis?
I was
God damn it.
messaging him today, and he said he was supposed to do the rest of the vocals like this week, but the engineer had to reschedule it, so it's gonna be like later.
That guy's
in the
cool
thing,
as shit.
Dennis, oh
Dennis,
dude,
yeah.
fuck yeah, dude, super chill, dude.
I'm gonna be in Sweden next month. I might hit him up.
Oh really? Nice.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be in his neighborhood, but maybe not that far away. So
Fuck yeah.
I'll definitely at least let him know I'm coming.
Dude, Dennis is a shit. Sorry, I had to mute myself because there's somebody's calling this business, but Dennis is the shit, dude. I love him to death. I want him back on. Let's do a retromorphosis.
Oh yeah,
episode.
we had a chat about that. We're gonna get everybody on, like including Christian.
Jonas.
And the guys.
You're gonna get Jonas on, dude?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's what at least was implied in the message.
Yes.
We'll see.
Fuck
Jonas, you don't listen to the show, I'm sure, but I want you on, bro.
Bristling, dude. Yeah.
Bristling.
All right, back to the wormhole. Let's
Yes.
get into the Kumar wormhole.
I think-
again.
I mean, I wanted to just ask. I don't know if I have a Grey Lotus question. I just want to fucking.
Grey
just
Lotus
say-
is a cool fucking name, by the way.
I just want to say thank you because I still like. I don't know, man. That record it just did something for me that I didn't know like albums could still do at this point in my
Hell yeah,
life.
dude.
I was like, I might be past my time when a record like like gets that far into my brain, but I was seriously like spinning it like 3 times a day for like months straight. And
Damn.
yeah, I'm a hardcore. I got the shirt, I got the shorts, I got the tab book. I've been learning the riffs. I need to put a fatter gauge on my low strings so that I can really.
Those songs are
Honestly, it
absolute
doesn't
bitches.
matter. Those songs are impossible. Like I don't know how you guys do it. Like
I
you've
have to
toured,
step extremely hard.
you
for
play
that.
you play it live, right? You've done the
Yeah.
tours up until the latest tour. You've
Yeah,
done all the.
that's the only tour I haven't done with them.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I wish I caught you. I mean, it was Isaac who filled in, right? He was
Yeah.
awesome. And I was very sad to not catch Drew, sadly. But I mean, they still fucking killed it live. It was rad meeting Ben. Awesome meeting Matt. Fucking very cool getting. And I guess I'm sorry, I don't remember your singer's name off the top of my
Lee?
head. Lee, yeah. And then then getting such a cool guy. I told Matt like, hey, we're coming on tour next month. He's like, just stay at my house, and like we literally brought Lucy over to hang out for two full days and kicked it in his basement and did hood rat shit. It was awesome. So I don't know. I just felt like, and then Ben came out to the Nashville show. We got to kick it with him and the Entheos crew. So yeah, it was just felt like really cool. And I, want. So I don't know how involved you are in like the songwriting or any other aspect
Oh
of
yeah,
the band.
on that album,
Mhm.
on Dawnfall, there's like 3 songs that were like Ben made the whole thing, basically, and then big Drew influence, and then there was like the rest of the songs were actually me and Ben in this room, like writing the songs together.
Okay.
So it's like actually like very melting pot of brain.
Mhm.
Which ones did you guys work on together? I can show
I'll tell you which
the-
ones we didn't work on together. We didn't
Okay,
work on Azure Rain, Currents, and then Rectilinear Motion. I only had 1.5 riffs that I made on that one.
Okay.
What do you tell us the differences in your experience working with somebody virtually versus physically?
I'm always huge on being in the room physically.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, being at a computer, especially being able to just like take the keyboard for a sec, move shit around, like being able to do that quickly. Also, though, being able to see somebody playing right in front of you, like I lock in on like, hands when I'm watching somebody play guitar, and like I'm like, documenting in my brain what I see is happening because I'm about to try and do it myself too, right? Because
Right.
we're writing the song together. In person, that is like, it's like really, really easy to communicate about a riff like that, you know. So like, being able to see the hands in full vision and shit like
Not
that.
only that, but like having a feeling, you know, whether whatever you're feeling may be positive, negative, or blah 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 blah. You have this feeling. Instantaneously you can communicate your feeling and work on something in way faster than it was like, okay, this is how I feel about your riff. You're passing things back and forth through email. Like there is a wavelength that I think that is easier to ride together if you're in person,
Yeah.
you know, in the flesh. And no doubt there's some kind of telepathy that happens that you wouldn't necessarily get through email or even Skype or Zoom or however people do it now. It's there's a layer that is taken away, even though
No,
some great stuff.
I think Zoom allows telepathy now. Actually,
I guess if you're wearing headphones, it might be like sucking it out of your ears, you know?
yeah.
No, but I mean, I guess it's seeing facial expressions and that because humans communicate so much more through other things than just words, you know?
Yeah.
And so just seeing how somebody is reacting to something naturally in the moment could, you know, make or break or change how things happen in the moment, and things can be worked on so much quicker. And this is me just being the old guy, like, oh, this is how we used to do things. But I'm like, no, dude, like there is an element to that I think that is very important. And I'm not saying that it not is always lost digitally or virtually, but I think that, I don't know, the pathway is lengthened through the internet, you know?
Well, okay. Do you guys know the band Sleep?
Yeah.
All right. So they posted a thing today that their album Holy Mountain was like originally supposed to be listened to. I don't know how serious this was, but on 8 tracks. And it was like these 3 8 tracks, different colors sitting out. So what if death metal was that way? I mean, what if that's, you know?
I mean, you could take it
I
down
feel
to
like
that
a lot
level.
of these older 90s records, like Discord records and Devourment Like records, sound better on like 90s car speakers than they do
Interesting.
on my monitors.
Well, that makes sense because they were mixed
Yeah.
for those
Yeah,
speakers.
exactly.
Yeah, like boom boxes and stuff.
I mean, everybody who has recorded takes it immediately to their car.
That's an
My
interesting.
car speakers fucking rip.
Oh yeah, dude. That's
No, but that's an interesting point to think about. Like albums being mixed, like to cater to different sound systems over the years.
mhm.
Like now everyone's like listening to music primarily on like, you know, headphones or like in their car, but it's not that different a little bit, you know, or
Yeah.
like it's all Bluetooth and then like at home on their like Apple TV, but it's like a sound bar or something like
There's so many
I'm like
different
old school with
ways.
my like receiver and I got like my 5-channel stereo. I still have the like 15 years ago, whatever. it
Yeah,
is.
so that's what it is, dude. I think that current times, like Zach Oren literally has to think about all of those
Yeah,
things
like
when it comes to him mixing and mastering an album. He has to try and find the medium between all of those vastly different
yeah,
ways of listening to something, you know?
like a 70s record, like they were thinking people have like a turntable at home, maybe with a personal stereo, whatever. Like that's the, you know, and then like we're like listening to that on our like streaming thing. It's like there's remasters and stuff.
I bet you
yeah.
like Apple AirPods are like one of 4 main things that most engineers have
Yeah, I think
to
they are.
Yeah.
think-
One of 4 things that they have to keep in mind.
You're gonna say
Like, no, that's what I'm
Sorry,
saying. Like oh, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say that.
Oh no! I was just gonna say, no, you're right. I mean, all the shit that like all the people I work with all have AirPods because like everybody's listening to shit on AirPods.
Right.
Mhm.
Including myself. I listen one ear at work, and I'm listening to a podcast or music. It has to fall into, something listenable for me at least. I
You don't wear
obviously,
those at your work?
yeah. So these broken ass fucking headphones. I stepped on them like 20 episodes ago, and I'm still using them. I can still hear you guys through them. So I don't.
Hell yeah.
If I look fucking weird, who cares?
Bring back the hoodie. The over hoodie.
Hey, no, aloha never goes away though.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, that's really what it is, dude. It's like AirPods are like probably 1 or 2 on the list of things that engineers are thinking about, dude.
We had a question from a minute back, which I just wanted to make sure we got to. So sample on the gas system.
It's the Tattletale Strangler episode of SpongeBob where so yeah, there's a point where the Tattletale Strangler is trying to strangle SpongeBob in an empty house, and there's a surprise party at SpongeBob's house, so he has to wait for the party to end. And then as they're leaving, the Tattletale Strangler asks like, "Oh, so there's not any more parties, is there?" And then Patrick opens the door and he's like, "Oh, a party? Let's boogie some more." And that's where the sample comes from.
Hell yeah. Cool.
So I always love talking about SpongeBob real quick. I'm not going to do like a crazy thing on it, but Tom Kenny, who's I think the voice of SpongeBob,
Yeah.
he was from one of the greatest sketch comedy things of the 90s, Mr. Show. Shout out to Tom Kenny. I just wanted to throw that out there. That anybody who knows about Mr. Show, go listen to SpongeBob talk, and that's Tom Kenny. That's it. That's all I wanted to say, guys. That's it.
SpongeBob for me and Noni is like the pinnacle of TV, like the true pinnacle of TV.
I enjoy SpongeBob greatly.
Season 1 through 4.
I have a confession to make. I'm sorry, guys. I think that microphone isn't coming through the audio, actually, Sanjay. So I don't think you guys need to hold that anymore.
What are you talking about? I think he sounds way better than.
No, it's coming through. It's coming through his computer.
No way, dude. No, he just moved it away from him.
Are you sure?
Bring it back.
Okay, no, it's working. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought. Okay, my bad. Sorry. I was
False
wrong.
confession. Jeez.
I thought we heard the change pre-pod.
Yeah,
and
I thought you were going to confess
okay.
something else, but
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, crazy. It's weird because I can still hear you. So because you usually with those mics, like can't hear anything like off. So
anyway,
my
you
bad.
guys are my brother's age, and he's a SpongeBob kid. And Chris Beatty from my other band / also the Xeno
Hell yeah.
Passage, he thinks the same about SpongeBob. It's the best show, and I'm like,
It is.
I think I just missed that because I remember liking it, but already feeling like it was. So I was like, Ed and Eddie was my hell yeah, that's my shit.
I mean, yeah, if we're going to talk about what actually as children, yeah, I would say something different, but SpongeBob with my kids and then finding that other layer of Mr. Show made me go back into SpongeBob and experience that as a 30-year-old.
Are you letting them watch the new stuff, or are you keeping them on the good stuff?
I haven't actually. SpongeBob's been out of the loop for a very long time. Like SpongeBob really was only around for my first. My second and third, they don't know really much about SpongeBob, but I know but dude, I grew up on Ren and Stimpy. Does
I
anybody
can't do
else?
Ren and Stimpy. No.
Ren and Stimpy
I
is
still
so
hate that
gnarly,
show,
dude. It's so gnarly.
Yeah, I get all the like cringe from that. I just can't even.
There's a lot of cringe
Yeah.
when you look at back on it, and I'm like, holy shit, dude! I watched this like on the daily.
Dude, this
I love
guy's
that show.
confessing his own. He's never seen a single episode of SpongeBob.
Well,
doing
gotta roll
yourself-
reef,
I've
maybe?
never seen a single episode of SpongeBob either.
Whoa,
Wait, Doug was your
That was
shit.
like
All right,
for
I'm
kids
down with
at the
Doug.
time.
I'm
I'm
down with
old.
Doug.
Doug was good.
Oh,
Doug was like
yeah, I
the
watched
tail
that.
end of my shit. Yeah,
Yeah, Doug was
Doug funny, dude.
Killer
Dude.
Tofu.
all that Nickelodeon shit.
Killer tofu, dude.
Yeah.
And it was like Nickelodeon and MTV at the same time. It's like Beavis and Butthead. And
Or
then,
his favorite band was the Beats, right? It
Yep.
was like the Beatles parody.
I think that was the band that did Killer Tofu.
Nice.
Oh, Killer Tofu. Yeah.
it's all about back in the day, like The Head, that show The Head, and also like Aeon Flux and all that shit was sick.
Yeah, I think cartoons got weird like in
Yeah.
the early 90s for sure. And
I was like mid this time, I guess. These ones, yeah. Early, yeah. But it got
if you think about it, like everything got weird at that time, dude. It did. It did. If you think about music, every style of music you love, shit got weird in the mid 90s for it.
You guys ever watch Secret World of Alec Max or whatever?
That sounds familiar.
Nickelodeon, dude, old school. You're afraid of the dark? Are you afraid of the dark?
Are you afraid of the dark, dude? I was scared of that intro, dude. I would literally have to go
so
down the
scared.
hallway while the intro was happening because I was scared of the fucking clown in the attic, dude.
So
And then I grew up to love clowns and shit.
Yeah.
So I know it's kind of late over there in East Coast time. So I'm gonna
They still look bright-eyed and bushy.
I'm gonna check in.
Bushy and vertical.
So yeah, maybe we should start wrapping things because
I guess we're not seeing banana hands tonight, dude.
I was texting
yeah.
him. Yeah, they went out to dinner and all this, and
That's all right. I hope their meal was amazing.
yeah.
All right,
I'm gonna initiate wrap ups. So
do it.
and yeah, it was great to see you guys live last month. Glad to hear the tour went really well. It was cool to catch you kind of coming off a tour. Although it's kind of fun to have a band come on when they're like excited to promote a tour, but this is still cool because I just, I'm like infatuated still with the live show I saw.
No doubt. Now we like the post-tour wrap-ups as well,
And shout out Rob for inviting you guys on, or basically booking you guys for this. Also,
Thanks, Rob.
Lucy's manager, and we're in the
Hell
chat
yeah.
right now.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah.
yeah. So let's make something happen. Is all I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
dude.
Really.
Let's keep the relationship alive, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I really like, really, really big fan and stoked to have the chance to catch up with you guys, and always a pleasure. So,
Dude, so let's wrap it up with like what you guys got in store. What are your ideas? What can you divulge on us right now for your future? I know you guys got the album coming out and all that stuff, but let's like anything you can give us for your immediate or farther future, dude.
I mean, we're making new songs right now. Actually, we kind of like have all the songs. We just gotta like clean them up and shit. But like,
Do you two work together much? Like when do you guys sit down and just throw riffs at each other?
All right, it goes like this. Me and Noni will make our individual songs.
Mm-hmm.
If we really, really need help, we'll go to the other one for help.
Okay.
But part of the whole reason why Wormhole sounds the way that it does is because I write 4 songs, Noni writes 4 songs. We don't get too involved in the other person's songs, but they still are Tech Slam, but written by a different person. So that's
you guys kind of know like a basic little like outline that what you guys both see for the project, and then you go contribute your own version of what you think that
that's basically it.
Yeah. Okay, that's fucking sick, dude. And that's cool as shit that you guys are brothers and you guys can like vibe enough to where you can take that time completely away from each other and know that you're truly contributing to one thing together, you know? And that's really cool. Like I'd love to. It'd be cool for you guys to be like, here's the one riff that we got stuck on and we both worked on together.
I was actually gonna based like on each of the 3 albums, there is one song that has a
True collab.
and the rest are individual.
Okay, so now I'm really intrigued on those songs specifically. I know like your whole discography is sick. I've touched on all of it, but now that I know that there are 3 songs that you as brothers really did a true collab on, now I want to re-listen to those songs. So you have to give those to us.
Yeah,
right
we're
now.
not going to tell you which one. You have to
I don't
find
know.
it.
You motherfuckers. You shits. Come on. Like, okay, one of them. One of 3.
Okay. Get the Genesis one out of the way. The first song that we actually truly collabed on was "Nurtured in a Poison Womb." When we made it together, it was called "Green Eggs and Slam."
Is that the one you referenced earlier? Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like, I think we wrote that song in like probably an hour and a half or something. It was just like, I made a riff, Noni made a riff, I made a riff, Noni made a riff. That was like bullshitting it, kind of like collab.
Okay. So if I go back if I go back and listen to that song, do you think that I will gain a little insight and be able to possibly find the other
No.
2?
Absolutely not.
Ah, shit. Is there one that's on the new album that is a collab?
There is.
I don't want to like give it away too much, but like okay, I'll give you a hint. The parts that we collab on is when we get really scientific about making the slam hit as hard as possible. That's the shit that we really collab on. That's the stuff where also it's like I would want a second opinion. Like, does this shit smack? You know, I don't really need Noni to tell me that like if like a riff is good, you know, because we're both confident enough in our riffs, but like, does the slam smack? That's the shit. You know, that the collab really
the really long build-up ones, especially.
Yeah. That makes sense. I like that.
Right.
What's your guys' all-time favorite slam?
All-time favorite slam? That's crazy.
The title track of Anomalies of Artificial Origin.
Okay.
Like a minute and a half in or something.
So
syncopated, so groovy.
Okay, I mine is I don't know if it's my true favorite, but it's like easy one to pick right now. But the last slam and engulfed in excruciation, defeated sanity. That's like it's almost too easy. But when you see that shit live, oh my god, I feel that in every fucking cell in my body.
I was gonna go with the first slam and hideously disembodied.
That's also a bomb one. Oh, and one of the slam that turned me on to defeated sanity actually, Sati. The first slam groove. Yikes, man, that shit smacks.
All right, I'm gonna keep this going. Favorite tech death riff? I don't know. It might be too broad.
All right, that's definitely harder because like it's definitely a necrophagist riff, and I can't choose which one. Like obvious one, I think, is the post solo ignominious impale riff. Other necrophagist ones that I think super bomb 7, the first riff in 7.
Super underappreciated too on that record. A lot of the solo rhythms, those riffs are banging. The Stillborn one and Only Ash Remains.
Dude,
you know, no one's listening for it. They're all listening to the solo, but those rhythms are banging.
Another one. Not okay. Sorry, now I'm ranting because I love riff.
Rant.
In my own greed, Spawn of Possession, like just straight up chromatic notes in the middle of the sea of crazy techie riffs. Oh my
Yep.
god, those 3 notes hit crazy hard. It's like not a tech riff, but in a tech song, and
Yeah.
it's just
I
Oh,
know exactly what
definitely,
you're talking
dude.
about. Yeah, that shit's fucking
Yeah, this
crazy.
is this conversation is you'd have to really prepare for it, dude, because we've been exposed to so much that I can't give a solid. I can't add any horse to this race right now, dude.
love riffs, man.
I love
Kinda the whole
riffs
reason
too,
we're in
dude.
this.
But I'm also spoken through vocalist, so I'm like I'd really have to find all the true riffs that I connected with. But I mean that takes forever. In the moment, yeah, I don't know.
Symbolic also. That was one of the
Yep.
first heavy riffs I ever heard. Oh, it's gonna play it.
I'm not in MIDI standard, so I
Well, I got this.
know it. It's not that hard. Hey,
Already plugged in, dude. Yes, dude. So
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
you've been plugged in this whole time and you're just like not playing anything for us, dude? At the end of the show, you show us that you're just set up all sick.
Want to play something?
Yeah. Play us let's see. Obviously,
Play anything you want.
yeah, I would play anything you want. No, play like your favorite thing non-metal that you've played that you've learned recently.
You guys know Tim Miller? You ever heard Tim Miller?
No, but educate me.
Oh man, I don't have the tone for this. No, he's like a jazz fusion guy I really like. I don't know if you guys. Yeah,
Sounds like
but
Primus to me.
the groove on there would make it way sicker. What else have I been doing? I've been like just learning all my bands. That's like my whole life right now. Just get off this tour, learn band songs for this band, then do that
Here.
tour.
play
Oh,
this.
right
No,
now on the dome is Inferi riffs and Wormhole riffs.
All right.
I got
Can
all
you play the Chia? I don't even know how to fucking say this word.
Chiaroscuro?
Can you play the selective picking? The
Oh yeah, that's like wrong key, but something like that.
Hell yeah. There it is. Nice.
Yeah, I gotta work on that selective shit. It's been a minute. Yeah, that's just ass, man.
So what? Who? That sounded like a bunch of triplets played in succession. How does that?
No,
Is that like a picking
that's
thing?
basically right. It's like hammer on from sounds cool with a chord
Whoa. Trip.
You're selective about what notes you pick.
Yeah.
your voice is now quiet because
Oh yeah, the mic's all the way. Yeah, you're selective about the notes you pick. Selective picking.
yeah, it's hammer on, then 2 picks. Yeah, I spent like fucking 2 hours trying to learn that technique on that riff, and I got to like 50%. I was like, hell yeah.
Where'd you guys learn about that technique? Who's using it?
I mean, Tosin Abasi made that shit popular.
That sounds like a Tosin thing. I was definitely gonna be like, oh, that's got to be Tosin.
But Carson McWhirter, look this motherfucker up. Way earlier, like way crazier selective picking. Carson Carson McWhirter, like crazy under the radar.
I have not heard that name.
Now that's although if you like guitar shit and you don't know about that guy and you think Tosin rules, this is a guy.
Shout out Got Thal. Hella is
Shout out
nuts,
Send him,
bro.
yeah, dude, that's our boy. Send him, yeah.
Hella is so nuts. I mean, I've brought them up on the show before, but that's some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Sick.
Without distortion, you hear that same
I
exact
feel like I
alternate.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah.
Get
do
in there,
lessons. No, I'm just kidding.
dude.
I was thinking about hitting up Ben, but I have the book. I know how to teach myself. It's just a matter of studying it, you know. But yeah, I do recommend other guitarists fucking get the Bible here. Get up to 50%. It's the best we'll ever make it to. So
Just 1% per day, bro. That's all you need, dude.
it's fucked, bro. Stupid riffage, but it all pays off. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, let's see if you guys are gonna play some more shit. I'm down. If not,
I got nothing else.
Play the fight riff. Make Noni play something.
That's already some animosity, early animosity type shit. Did you ever listen to Animosity?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
A lot of notes.
Make Noni play a song now.
Make him.
Yeah. You make him, not me make him.
Nice.
One of the new wormholes, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I recognize that shit.
In C standard though.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah.
Sounds a little different.
You guys play C standard?
No, Inferi plays C standard, so all my sixes are in C standard now.
Oh, I see. That's the disgorge tuning.
Yeah.
Good shit.
That fanned fretboard is something so common to see now, and
Whoa.
everybody explains to me why it's better or whatever, but I always forget. I don't know
It's just
why.
tension. You want more. You want the lower strings to be more tension. That's all it is. Because if you do this, that tension is like sick. Also, if you drop tune, that extra tension, you don't got to add a heavier string kind of thing. Already tighter because it's getting stretched more.
Well, I'll try and remember that tomorrow, dude, because I'll probably forget and then ask the next person. Tension, extra tension on the top or the bottom?
The low strings, I don't know. Some people call this the top. Some people call it the bottom. But
So low strings, yeah, I know those are at the top. So more tension up top or on the low strings. You're saying?
And then these tension on your thinner strings is going to be like if you were playing a normal guitar, 25.
How is your adaptation to like the top? Because the top looks like it's way more.
Oh, it never ever bothered me.
Oh,
like
okay.
never bothered me. I have pretty big
In
hands
this area,
too.
it's pretty like most of the fretboard. It's
Yeah, once it gets towards the middle, it looks kind of very similar, but
I think also on
those
camera,
low notes at the top.
Yeah, it never bothered me. I also have big hands, so it was like never an issue with that. But like even like everybody's like, but do bar chords still work? And they definitely still work. And there was literally no adjustment to get them to work.
Nice. Hell yeah. All right, I've done my gear talk for the night, guys, right?
Yeah, I gotta go. I just got some Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering cards. I gotta go play with my wife.
Oh,
She's
Dude, my kids
been
got
bugging
super
me all
into
day.
Pokemon recently, dude, and now it's just like that's all they talk about now is Pokemon cards, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's all go to
Or
our
Yu-Gi-Oh
respective
kids.
families / card
We need to
games.
get 7Gs back on so we could do a Pokemon talk.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right. Well, dude, this was a really fucking awesome episode. I had a great time tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, look,
you guys.
Joel made it.
Like, yeah, exactly.
No, we love Joel too. He had a great time tonight, I'm sure, and rock on. We'll see him next week. But dude, Noni and Sanjay, thank you so much for being with us tonight, dude.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
I enjoyed hearing about your guys' history, and Wormhole is a band that, if you're listening to this right now and you haven't heard them, what are you doing? Get into the Wormhole as soon as you can, dude. Let it just engulf you. And yeah, dude,
The whole.
rock on. We got some of the plugs. Oh yeah, the plugs. Battleforge coffee, as always. Too hot, probably. I shouldn't say it that loud. Cali Death Podcast.bigcartel.com. Oh, dude, I was almost gonna say Chicago Domination. I talked to Miguel recently. We're still gonna keep the partnership, and when Texas Domination happens,
Whoa.
I don't know if that's really gonna happen. But hey, he's moving to Texas. Why wouldn't?
I know.
He's already mentioned it in some stuff. Maybe it'll happen. I shouldn't say when. If it happens, you're gonna see some Cali Death podcast up in there too. All right. Love you guys. Wormhole. Where you want everybody to go again? Find you guys, follow you guys, buy merch, all that shit.
Wormhole Slam on Instagram. Wormhole Tech Slam on Instagram. We have the Wormhole Slam Big Cartel. We have the new record coming out September 22nd on Season of Mist. Shout out to Season of Mist. Shout out to Rob. Shout out to Senum.
Go Birds.
Cool.
Hell yeah, guys. Well,
All
dude,
right.
you guys are rad as shit. We're gonna keep in touch, no doubt.
Yeah.
I had a great time. I already said that, and I love all you guys in the chat. I love everybody who's listening to this post live. If you want to interact live, come back to our twitch.tv and all that good shit. Have a great weekend. We love you guys. We'll see you next week as always.